Well, free agency has gone just about expected. We all expect it for everything to happen the way it's happened because we know ball. Shout out to you all. Welcome to another episode of the Press Box. Welcome. I got my dog Bama. I got my dog Early with me. Got another dog pulling up here in a second. But this has been a very, very interesting free agency. You know, we are seeing a lot of movement around the NFL. And for me, this has been, you know, for personally talking about our experiences here. Hey, the Broncos have brought everybody back. The Broncos have brought everybody back except for John Franklin Myers, right? You know, that's great, right? That's good. Dre Greenlaw gone. So Alexander Singleton, welcome back. And, you know, it's funny watching some of the media people try to gaslight and say, well, hey, they went to the AFC Championship game last year, Bama. They won 14 games. Wouldn't you want to bring everybody back? No, actually. No. That receiving core, the running back room, and the inside linebacker room need to be improved, but they haven't made not a move yet. But apparently there might be some stuff on the way. But we got a lot of stuff that we got to get into.
What you think, Swiper?
I mean, there's brother. They're lacking playmakers, and I don't want to see Bo Nix save us offense.
But who's the guy like realistically we can get that can really help our core?
Well, they tried to get Kenneth, but then they weren't paying 15. They tried to get Travis, but they weren't going to pay 11, and so we know that. But here's the thing: early, they tried to get Jalen Warren. No, not Jalen Warren, Jalen Waddle. Mm-hmm. They then tried. We're in the AJ Brown talks, but obviously that's too expensive, too rich for their blood. Mm-hmm. They've been in talks about everybody. But I think the issue is, including Breece, the reason that Breece Hall got tagged because of the Broncos. I think they know what they need, but now it's like they're just going to run the draft. This is, I think, if I'm not misspoken, which I could be misspoken, could have happened, just like I was last night on NBA Twitter. The Broncos are the first team to bring back almost all of their free agents ever. They brought back almost all of their free agents, name 3 of them. And they're the only team in the NFL that has not made an outside signing. The only team. So that's quite an interesting strategy for them. They feel like that gives them a very high floor. But I will say, you all, as we get into this, Juwan Jennings is still a free agent. Joey Bosa is still a free agent. Deebo Samuels is still a free agent. Cam Jordan's still a free agent.
I like Deebo for y'all. I do like Deebo for y'all.
Yep.
I like that type of dynamic back that can get the ball in short spurts and get busy. I do like Deebo for y'all. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't understand why teams break up teams after they have a close run. Anyway, I hate when teams do that.
What up, DMac? So first off, let me explain to y'all who this is real quick. So I've known DMac for 3 years now. When did you start on Facts and Stats, DMac?
About 4 years ago, probably.
About 4 years ago. Yeah. So DMac, by the way, I'm talking about off the cuff, off the rip, popped in here. So I want to thank my brother, number one, for making availability for this at all. Obviously, he did not need to do it, but I appreciate it. Now, I will tell you this. DMac is one of the best ball knowers you'll know. Like, he actually is very good for free agency, very good with the draft. DMac has found a lot of hits. And if you don't know who Facts and Stats is, continue to tap in. Make sure you go to Discord, go to Facts and Stats. There's a lot of people making great content. That's one of them. DMac is also one of them. DMac has a TikTok. He makes his own content, especially about the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the great thing about DMac, man. DMac is very knowledgeable, very intelligent. But Bama, he's just like you when it comes to Alabama about the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, no.
The exact same way, early. I'm talking about the exact same way. He said for weeks leading into the Broncos Week 12 game versus the Chiefs, Broncos going to get beat. And then we beat them like the breaks that they are. And then he changed his whole narrative. That's the only thing I don't like about DMac. But shout out to you, bro. Welcome to the show, man.
DMac, are you a true fan or are you a Patrick Mahomes fan?
Nah, I've been there since the pre-home days, man. It's got passed down from my grandfather. So the thing I'll say is this. I feel like Swipe was slightly misrepresented. I did think that we were going to win after the bye week, but I also was very specific in saying if they want to be the team that they had been in previous seasons, which is the championship contenders, that's the game that they were going to show me that they were able to do it. And I was like, they didn't show me. They went out there, they made similar mistakes, and I can go into it for a long time, as I've done, over the past few months talking about the Chiefs. They did not do it, and I was like, hey, the Broncos absolutely earned it as far as that was concerned. Now, granted, how the season ended, that was unfortunate for you guys, but hey, it is what it is. But no, happy. Thank you, Swiper, for the introduction. I do have my own stuff as DMW Sports. I talk plenty of Chiefs, plenty of all, really across the board, but definitely football. And it's been a very fun free agency period to talk about too.
Yeah, so actually, literally what we're talking about today.
And DMac, I'm not biased towards Alabama. Swiper just is a stat merchant, bro.
Please.
And he was trying to tell me
he's going to call me biased.
What happened was he was trying to tell me that
early. If I
ran the ball 16 times, but Alabama committed to the run game.
Listen, DMac, anytime you get personal, anytime you get to call people hoes and bitches, because we're talking about Alabama, it's getting to. And DMac, let the fans know. I want the people in the chat to understand this. DMac is a true Kansas City fan, and he's been there since the Priest home days. This is what happens when you stay down. Everybody goes through their ruts. But if you stay down long enough, this is the worst part, DMac. Don't you hate when you stay down, but because your team got good, everybody say you're a bandwagon? Ain't that don't that kill you? Oh, that break your heart.
Right.
I've been here. Oh, you Patrick Mahomes fan. I've been here.
I had to ask for a Matt Castle jersey because he had one good season for us for Christmas when I was a kid, man. I got Dwayne Bowe jerseys, I got Jamal Charles jerseys, bro. Like this is
Brody Crewell, man. Brody Crewell, man.
Look, I've been through the Tyler Pickton days, dog. Like,
legit receiver, terrible rapper. Legit receiver.
Terrible rapper, awful rapper. But yeah, no, I completely understand it for sure, man. But hey, it's been a great ride. Like you said, you stay down for these moments. And so yeah, it's been worth it as far as that.
But my man Brandon should be coming. If you see him, let him in. He should be coming.
You said, all right, bet. So here's what we're gonna do. So DMac, we've been talking about free agency since. Well, we started talking about free agency going into it, but then we did some highlighting on Wednesday already, and then today we're going to talk about some of the other ads that are out there, but also a lot of the hits. And so we're talking about the winners and the losers from free agency. So this is going to be actually a very in-depth and thorough conversation that everybody knows we will be here until 1 p.m. every single Sunday. But also, before we do that, let me make sure to pay some bills, y'all. Shout out to Splash Sports. They continue to treat us right. We love Splash Sport on PC. They take care of us. We take care of them. This is a symbiotic relationship, and they are the best DFS game that you can find. Y'all need to make sure you're tapping in with Splash Sports. The NBA is heating up, and the playoffs are right around the corner. Now is your time to get in on the action. You got Quick Picks on Splash Sports. Is the DFS game you've been waiting for. This isn't you versus some algorithm or the sportsbook. It's you versus other fans. Real competition, real skills. The playing field, it's completely level, which means you get bigger payouts and more ways to win. Just pick yours against theirs and see what happens with that. Now, I've been cooking on Splash. Everybody knows I went over 50% on Splash Sports during the NFL season. That means you were a winner if you followed me. I also went 3-0 last week of the season. I landed with an undefeated streak. And in the NBA, I've been cooking up as well. In the NBA, you want to find role players. Stars are great. Find your role players. Find your Kadas. Find your Christian Browns. Find your players like LeBron James, role player. Those are players you want to continue to tap in with. Also, remember, you're not playing versus the house. You're playing versus other fans. So are you ready to compete? Use code CHOICE on Splash Sports and get $50 deposit when you play your first $5. That's right. You have $50 deposit when you play your first $5. Link, it's in the description. Let's see what you're made of. All right, back to the show, you all. Y'all know what time it is. I got my boy DMac in here. We're going to have a very fun episode. So right now, if you had to pick, and DMac, since you're the guest, if you had to pick, who is your winner of NFL free agency so far? And you can include who they've added, who they've lost, and also you can add in the fact that they have draft assets. Like, who's your winner and who's your loser so far?
Yeah, look, there are multiple different ways you can look at it as far as underrated signings, people that got value, things of that nature. I would say for the team that stand out to me, because a lot of teams just throw money around, and Raiders have thrown a lot of money around, Commanders have thrown a lot of money around. I will say I very much do like what the Panthers have done, thrown around a good bit of money. And I know that the contract figure came out for Jalen Phillips, and it shocked me. I didn't think he was necessarily going to get that amount. However, Panthers have the money to spend. So it's like, okay, you maybe overpaid a little bit. The edge market was higher than I even expected it to be. You talk about guys like Owe, as far as that is concerned. But adding Jalen Phillips to what they have on the interior of that defensive line with Brown and Turk Wharton, I like that mix as far as that's concerned. He really adds that ability to be explosive off the edge that they needed badly. And especially with the young edges that they also have there, it makes a lot of sense. Princely, they drafted last year out of Ole Miss too. And then you add at the second level, Devin Lloyd. And I thought he got Devin Lloyd on a pretty good contract as far as that is concerned for what he brings to the table. And they needed linebacker help very badly in that aspect. A little bit underrated. They also got Rasheed Walker, who adds versatility to their offensive line, which makes sense. Anytime you can add versatility for a guy like Rasheed Walker to be able to, from that perspective, makes a lot of sense. So I think the Panthers did a good job finding good value in their free agents, understanding where they wanted to take their shots, not necessarily overextending too much, and for the money that they had to spend. So I like what the Panthers did. Now, question mark of how much that is going to translate, of course, is going to fall back on Bryce Young's shoulders. They still have opportunities to add some offensive firepower around Tetairoa McMillan as well. I like what they did in that free agency period as far as that's concerned.
Talking my language, DMac, the hot Panthers fan over here. Talking my language.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, DMac, if you don't know this, Early is a big Panthers fan. He thinks Steve Smith is the best wide receiver in the 2000s. Like you ask him, you talk to him.
A football field.
But
pound for pound.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was still surprised that Jalen got $30 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a lot of money. And again, it's great. Obviously in the NFL,
that's
the way
the market.
But if you ask coaches though, like he's not a great sack production player, but one thing he does well is generate pressures, and that's like. Honestly, it's more valuable than having sacks for a lot of people, especially for a lot of coaches, just because you want to just get the ball out of the quarterback's hands or you want to rush the quarterback. That way you speed the play up. Jalen Smith is good at that. And so I do think they'll be vastly improved. But I think some of this is going to come down to, Early, we talked a little bit about this year is going to be up to Bryce Young. And if Bryce Young, if he doesn't make the necessary improvement that he needs to make Early, I think you said that
gotta move on.
Yeah, you're ready to move off that. Okay.
I can't do another year after that. But the thing about getting a guy like Phillips, who's a good pressure, he gets good pressures. We got ball hawks like Horn in the back. See, when you got a ball hawk, hey man, I just need you to throw it in my direction. You know what I mean? So a lot of rush throws. My man JC might go for eight or nine of them things next year. You know what I mean?
Well, look, you mentioned specifically, obviously, Horn, who is awesome. Not trying to take anything away from him. But Mike Jackson was the one that really impressed me, certainly in that Rams playoff game as far as that's concerned. Because when you're playing opposite of a corner as good as Horn, that second corner is going to get targeted. He was understanding when exactly Stafford wanted to get the ball out. And again, as you talked about, getting pressure on a quarterback consistently makes them want to get the ball out of their hands. If you got a cornerback that could anticipate it, like Mike Jackson did a few times in that game, then you can really get some ball production and early interceptions. So,
Mike was solid all last year. Mike was solid all last year, but he definitely has nightmares about George Pickens. Shout out to my dog Brandon, who's on here. This is my childhood friend. He's on my pod on Open Field. Diehard Indianapolis fan. Indianapolis Colts fan. Been rocking for a long time, man. Great ball knower. Can be a bit of an asshole at times, but you gonna love him.
Oh my gosh! All right, what's up, bro?
Yo, what's up with y'all?
Yo, how we living, man?
Chilling.
Where you located at, bro?
I'm in King George, Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Okay, shout out.
Yeah,
Virginia,
ex-military guy too. Shout out to military, ex-military guy.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes from Maryland though. I'm like,
wait, how you know Early?
Oh shoot, we met.
Wait. No, Early. You told me that Early. This was your probation officer, right? That how you said it? Is that how you said it?
Hilarious. Now, he being funny. Childhood friend, man. Like this man was like my mother's second son, man. Had snacks in the house for him and everything. This is one of the few people I trust in this world from way back when, dog. So this is my guy.
Hey, bro, does he not pay out his bets to you either?
Did he not pay out his bets?
I'm still empty from early. I still ain't seen that money.
Listen, he bet me a meal, Brandon. He wants a meal. I've been hitting this nigga. Hey man, when you want me to get that meal, I'll let you know. Like he been holding on the meal for the longest.
Oh my god, $1 million? Shit.
No, a meal. I mean like a meal. Like he wants me to order some food.
Yeah, bro. Next time I go to Chicago, Bama, when I went to Chicago, I had a Chicago cut at a very nice restaurant that cost me about $180 for that. So next time I go to Chicago, I'll make sure Early pay for it. B, who's your team?
Colts, unfortunately.
Colts? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how you feel about how the Colts have done so far?
Until Swiper good is not listening.
Well, the Daniel Jones contract, there's a lot of
it's a lot of
incentives.
money,
it's a lot of incentives with that. So they really got to make him earn it. You know what I'm saying? They can cut him literally after the season if he doesn't play well, and it won't count against the cap at all. I like that. I like that deal. I like the Alec Pierce deal. You still got like a lot of I believe $40 million in cap space because of the Alec Pierce extension, and there's a lot of incentives for that as well. The cap hit doesn't really hit big until like next year, I believe. me looking at the contract. I like Alec Pierce. I like what he brings to the table. He's able to win on the outside as a true X receiver. You see him attack the ball well. You see him develop better year in and year out. He's with his teammate Sauce, his college teammate Sauce when he saw in Cincinnati. So they just gonna make each other better or whatever. Getting rid of Michael Pittman for a 6, that was a little crazy, but they took on his contract, so I'm cool with that. But yeah, other than that, they haven't made any solid moves that, you know what I'm saying. I think
got rid of Zaire. You know how much you hate Zaire?
Yeah. Zaire Franklin. That's addition by subtraction. So honestly,
don't let Zaire hear that.
Goddamn all pro.
Oh yeah. He is a big podcast guy. I'm sorry, bro, but you ain't it. But other than that, I think they really missed out on that Trey Hendrickson thing. I think that's what they was betting on, and they had no plan B, so they kind of got to get some things together. Maybe
and they lost Kwity Paye too.
Yeah. Well, Kwity Paye, he just a run stuffer guy. He's not really a pass rush guy, but they need somebody on the other side a lot too. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. DeForest to stay healthy, man. He's top 7 in the game.
Yeah, for sure. Him and the defensive tackle and nose tackle positions are set for real. Because DeForest Buckner, he gets all the shine, but I can't even think of his name right now. So damn early. What's his name? The nose tackle for the Colts.
You talking about
Grover? His name. Yeah, Grover Stewart. Yeah, he's a great run stopper as well. Not really a pass rush guy, but great nose tackle.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, B, you've been cooking. We got 2 people that brand new first time on the show, both cooking. You're right. They have $43 million in cap space still that they can play around what they want. Daniel Jones, if you look at his contract numbers, it's 2 years, $88 million. That is worth up to 100 with incentives, includes $60 million guaranteed with 50 in year 1. So again, they could cut him next year, $10 million dead cap, or be a post June 1st, and there'll be a $5 million for the first year, then over the second year. So look, I mean, Laquan Treadwell getting another deal is kind of crazy, y'all. That's not crazy, y'all.
This is his 11th year in the league, man.
Keep getting them checks, man.
11 years in the league.
Has he ever had what's the last time he had a season that was like? Let me look at these numbers. Because he got drafted by the Vikings. What year?
Vikings, yeah.
He was a first rounder. Like,
I don't even feel like he's been in the league for 11 years. 11 years.
Yeah, 11 years doesn't feel like he has been in the league that long. But
hold on, but he has 1 catches, 20 catches, 35 catches, 9 catches, 6 catches, 33, 66.
In a season?
No, 111 catches in his career.
Yeah.
He must be a special teamer or something, bro.
Nah, he's a special team guy.
Yeah. He's a special team guy.
We talk about contracts. Hey, man, I think I just seen Josh Johnson is signing with the Bengals. Hey, man, he keep a job, man. Like, between him and Tyrod Taylor, man.
Let me tell you how long ago this is. Jesus Christ, Josh. I got to college. We played against Josh Johnson my freshman year before I redshirted. I'm talking about my redshirt freshman year. We played Josh Johnson at San Diego in 2008.
Keep getting them checks.
And he's still in the league.
He keep getting them, and he don't look old. He keep getting them checks.
I was in high school playing with him on Madden, but it was literally his 4th year in the league, and I'm a 30-year-old man now. I'm a 30-year-old now.
And if you know, Josh Johnson with that 90 speed, boy, he was fun to play with.
It is a credit to Laquan Treadwell for him to be a first rounder and to have built this long career off of being a special teams guy. It's very impressive for him.
Yeah.
I don't count in the world is taxes and Josh Johnson having a contract. Boy, he gonna keep a job, man.
I try not to be too critical of the Colts as far as their direction is concerned, because it's a lot of money as far as Alec Pierce is concerned. It's a lot of money this year, specifically for Daniel Jones. But there is a aspect of, because of their aggressive move for Sauce Gardner, which at the time was understandable, but of course went downhill given Daniel Jones' injury. It's just they kind of have to continue along this pathway and see this through. They don't necessarily have a good out as far as that's concerned because of the draft picks that they've already spent. So I understand keeping Daniel on this deal that can give them out of the first year and gives them the chance at a second year run if needed as well. And I understand why they spent a lot of money to keep Alec Pierce, who was very vital to what they were doing in that scheme and creating explosive plays through the air.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy? Brandon was very high on Anthony Richardson, but I have no way to prove it. I have no evidence, so he just acts like he never was that high on Anthony Richardson, but he was, but he won't let me. I can't prove it, so it's like we do this thing where he just he lies, but I can't prove it. No, I have no film. It was a personal call that we had when he was damn near teary-eyed when he picked Anthony Richardson, and now he just acts like the nigga ain't shit. But I can't prove it. I hate it. It's the worst thing in the world.
fellas, listen here. I'm gonna
watch him lie. You're gonna lie. Everything gonna say is a lie, y'all.
See how he stops me? I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. On draft night, we were on the phone with each other. I literally said, please don't pick Will Levis 18,000 times. Because I knew he was trash. I knew he was garbage. I knew Anthony Richardson was better. I knew he was at least better than him. If we pick him, I'm cool with that. We picked him. Will Levis didn't go to the second round. Then you saw how that unfolded. He was like a meme literally every single week. That's what I knew what I was talking about.
How was your reaction when they picked Anthony Richardson?
We picked Anthony Richardson. I was hyped because we didn't pick Will Levis.
Nah, you son of a gun. How was your reaction when they picked Anthony Richardson? Did you not scream and shout?
Fellas, if they'd have drafted me, mind you, I've been quarterback since middle school. I would have shouted and jumped and praised. Super happy. If they'd have paid me $2,000 a month, I'd have been happy with that instead of picking Will Levis. I'm dead serious.
They picked Anthony Richardson, and Brandon had the Holy Ghost. He won't admit it, though. You was excited. A year later, Anthony Richardson ain't shit.
What's wrong with getting Anthony Richardson in the draft, though? He was like that talent. Like, he was supposed to be the next Josh Allen.
He acts like he knew the nigga was never going to be good, and he just so mean to what. Brandon, don't even say AR around Brandon. He might punch in the face. He can't stand Anthony Richardson.
I mean,
I know it's easy as to harp on Anthony Richardson, but he ain't never like 23. Like, you can't hit that.
There is, and I will make this comparison. There's a lot of difference between these two guys as prospects, but there is absolutely a chance that Anthony Richardson has a Sam Darnold like revival because he is extremely talented. There's just a lot of development that need to come along with them. And unfortunately, the thing about the Anthony Richardson pick was ultimately he was going to need to play to get better, and he just kept getting hurt.
Sam Darnold that played with North Carolina.
Difference between
third overall pick in the draft, Sam Darnold.
Yeah, the guy for the Jets.
Sam Darnold and Anthony Richardson. Sam Darnold was him as soon as he stepped on the college football.
Thank you. Talk to me.
He was incredible.
He had a lot of experience. I think he started his freshman year too at USC.
Yeah, he was a polished quarterback in college in a way that
Sam Darnold had been there before. He had plenty of experience. I'm not gonna sit there.
Yeah, all the ability.
Anthony Richardson. He hasn't played a lot of football. Like I think he's only played 25 career games. Like high school,
but he
college,
went to Florida when
high
Florida
school,
was
college,
confused.
and NFL. And but my only gripe against him is like you don't seem to like grind hard enough. You don't seem to care about your job enough to go the extra mile as far as like on the off season, like working with some throwing mechanics guys, working with some quarterback coaches, like doing whatever it needs to be done to get better. You don't seem to be doing that. I haven't really heard reports about that. I mean, I've honestly been like researching that shit like for the past 2 years. Have you been going and trying to better your mechanics, your footwork, and all this type of stuff like that? And I think he's just doing a regular thing.
I don't think it was his mechanics. I think with Richardson, it was just the basic stuff, like sliding the protection the right way, knowing which way to look once you slide the protection. It was basic stuff, like hitting the hot route on time. You know what I mean? Like it was more so just basic X's and O's. Like you said, he didn't play a lot, but I'll attest that just to when he went to Florida, there was no reason Emory Jones was supposed to be playing over him.
DMac, if you ask Bama, he believes that Joe Milton can lead the team to a Super Bowl. So if you're big, black, and fast, he likes it. He still thinks Jamarcus Russell wasn't a bad pick for the Raiders. You know what I mean? He wasn't. You know what I mean?
He wasn't though, because you looking at hindsight, Jamarcus Russell wasn't a bad pick. That was the best quarterback in the country during that.
Coming out of college, he had so many problems, bro. He had
he didn't. Coming out of college, bro, like he was the man, bro. Like
he was uncoachable. He had teammate issues. He had off the field issues.
You talking about the number one thing they used to use for all black quarterbacks coming out in the draft when they want to play quarterback?
See what he do, D-Mac? See what he do?
No, D-Mac, but if you 30-some years old, you remember it was a point in time where they used to always find something about black quarterbacks. That's why they always have to play receiver when they come out. Running back, whatever the case may be, but lo and behold, Ryan Tannehill can go from playing receiver, playing quarterback in the NFL. So hey, man,
ain't it crazy? A swiper that he talks like this, almost Jesse Jackson like bravado. But when he speaks about Bama, you would think he was a Trump supporter. Wouldn't you think so? When Bama speaks about Alabama,
this is wild.
Nick Saban is Jesus Christ. And any nigga who goes against Nick Saban should be, he shouldn't be, you know what I mean?
Nick Saban was the greatest college coach of all time. He really did.
No disputing that.
You should have seen Bama after they lost to Georgia, bro. He legit in his brain believes that Bama's better than Georgia. The coaches are the only difference, and that when they ran for -3 yards, that it wasn't a rushing problem.
He believes in his brain. No, he believes in his brain that Alabama would have beat Indiana. Though Indiana washed Georgia, and you niggas is afraid of Georgia.
Indiana won't watch Georgia. It was his matchups. Georgia would have proposed a way better matchup. We already did this. Mind you, them niggas couldn't catch Trinidad Chambers. They couldn't beat Ole Miss. But yeah, you playing a team multiple times, bro. It's really hard to beat.
Did Alabama and Indiana play?
Yeah.
What happened in that game?
That's when I was trying to explain. You was talking about they attempted to run the ball, even though those was the weakest 16 attempts I've ever seen in the career at Alabama.
16 attempps. You shoot your shot at somebody 16 times and
even in the blowout, they was close, DMac. Even in the blowout, they was close.
That's not the same though, because like I said, the whole season, everybody was talking about what was wrong with the run game. That was the first time Alabama ran a zone run scheme since that school was created, when they were running the wing T. So I was trying to explain to people through X's and O's. That's why the run game is not, because that's not the school. Alabama is the type of school you put a fullback back there. You got 2 tight ends. We motion and we pull people. We'll pull the whole O-line if we got to. We're running 45 blast. We're going to run it straight down your mouth. You come over here with this little zone block stuff. You block him if you want to, maybe, kind of. It's going to make the run game just look terrible. So and then we talk about it. Mike McDonald, who won the Super Bowl, he said the reason why he got rid of Ryan Grubbs is the dude is just calling plays like it's Madden. He don't know why he calling plays. He don't know down and this. He don't know why the plays work. So I'm like, this is dude calling plays right now. Of course, the run game is going to look horrible with a guy like that, because running is supposed to be a science. It is supposed to be, we want this matchup, we want big on big, and really, running is supposed to be, I think we was better than you in June. In June, right now, it's getting ready to come up right now, bro. If this was the real Alabama, bro, they'll be responding right now. I see EJ and all them boys in the weight room right now. Again, this is going to be the time where the 45 counters come back. The blast come back. This is supposed to be the time when we implement these plays right now. It don't matter about talent. It matters about will. It used to be a time Alabama wanted to make your ass quit. Not no little bullshit zone read plays. That's bullshit.
You see how passionate? It's been about 20 minutes now. You see how passionate he gets about Alabama?
You put fullbacks back there. You put tight ends back there. You do what you got to do, but we need to go big.
Bama, you might as well coach for him there, man. Just go coach. D-Mac, do you watch college football? Football, D-Mac?
Yes, I do. I'm a
Did Indiana, other than Miami, to a extent, did they not dominate every O-line and D-line they went against?
Yeah, they had the trench advantage in every single one.
Every single one. So if me dominating your line is one of the reasons why you're not running the ball, is that a you thing or is that a me thing? I don't care what zones you would have ran. You couldn't get off the ball.
The only ways around that are the type of runs that Bama, I should say, is not necessarily suggesting, because the reason why you run that gap man stuff is because you feel like you have better mass, better acceleration, better science up front to dominate. So I don't think that there was a way around it for Alabama, because Indiana's trenches were simply the best in the nation. And I think that would have showed up in any matchup they would have been in.
Same thing I said to Bama, but then he wanted to call me.
I just thought it was.
He wanted to call me
I understand his. I understand the frustration.
A bunch of females.
He said we were TikTok highlight watchers for saying that.
It should have been more double teams than that zone run scheme. I just felt like that O-line, what we saw from Alabama, is not the O-line of old, where just all across the board.
All right, because you can't pay you're the only team allowed to pay players anymore. That's why. So if I had to say my winner of free agency, y'all, let me go through this list. I think the Tennessee Titans deserve a lot of love.
Cowboys, you just pulled that out of Chat GPT.
Tennessee Titans had Wan'Dale Robinson, who, by the way, DMac, who's better, Parker Washington or Wan'Dale Robinson?
Come on, D-Mac. You know ball.
I prefer Parker Washington.
Talk to me, man.
I prefer a wide receiver that can do what he can do.
They got 100 catches for 200 yards.
And I like wide receivers that could give me some in the blocking game too. So it allows me to be multiple on offense.
Damn it, Trent! You early. You didn't say nothing about none of that. You didn't say nothing about no blocking. Nothing about no blocking at all. You were were blaming Wandale for having Despacito at quarterback.
But here's the thing, though. I think Parker Washington is such a better receiver than Wandale. Why are we getting the block? We ain't even got to get the block. I think
that's just me.
I think the biggest thing with Wandale.
I don't know what Trent is, Marty, but he need to be here because he's about to go on. Wandale
and what he does is cool, but I think Wandale could be a solid number 3. And if he is number 2, listen to me. If he is number 2, I think he needs a dominant number 1 on the other side. And I don't think he could be a number 2 with a Kansas, not Kansas City, but like a Buffalo Bills type of wide receiver core. I think he could be a number 2 beside like CeeDee Lamb. I think Parker Washington can be a low end 1, high end 2.
All right, I'm over this.
Baby.
All right.
He give me a little Steve Smith sometimes. He showed me a little Steve Smith sometimes.
The Titans also signed Bellinger. They signed Kylan Granson and 2 tight end. They got Cordell Volson. It's like I think this is more of a rotational player guard. They did get Austin Schlottman to bolster their offensive line. He plays center. Jermaine Johnson they got in the trade. Jacob Martin they signed for a 2-year deal. Jordan Elliott they signed John Franklin Myers for a 3-year 63, 42 guaranteed. Him and Jeffrey and Simmons is going to be insane in the front. They got Malik Herring and they got Solomon Thomas. Also, obviously, there's a reason why he continues to land with the same coach over and over again. They got Cordell Flott on a $45 million deal. That's a good pickup for them. And they also got Alontae Taylor for a 3-year deal worth $60. Joshua Williams. And then on top of that, they got a new kicker with Joey Sly and then Tommy Townsend as well. That
you think Snead go back to Kansas City?
No. Well, Snead
they did cut him, but I don't know.
He was trash last year.
He was trash the last 2 years. He been trash since he left Kansas City.
Since we traded him.
Because all that holding, apparently, all that holding, the Taylor Swift glare was in the ref's eyes. They didn't tell him holding that was going on. I swear to God, the year they won the Super Bowl, him and Trimmer Duffy held. They was holding
it was a lot of bench presses at the line of scrimmage, and by the time the quarterback had time, Chris Jones was in his face. So that was generally the scheme.
You ever try to steal the phone from somebody who cheating? That's how much they held that year. And then as soon as you went to Tennessee and you're going against number 1s and they can see now you're wearing that blue now, man. Never the same.
I don't necessarily think the Titans won free agency because they're just an overall bad team. They need a lot more.
They picked up 30 people.
They got a lot of work to do. They got a lot of work to do.
The Titans,
they do.
The team I really think won free agency though is the Cowboys. I don't like the Cowboys like that, but I feel like this is the first time in a long time I see them address a few needs. They got Kobe Durant. I like the Rashawn Gary pickup. I still think with what they did and leave a little room on the table to do something else. I don't know. We'll continue to see. I like the safety pickup, what they got. They got rid of Diggs. I guess we had seen the best of Diggs. So I've been up under a rock, but I didn't even know Diggs was that bad them past 2 years. Like past what 3 years?
I could have told you that.
I
was lost, bro.
Not too much on the family. Not too much on the family.
It hurt me. You know what I mean? Like it hurt me when they were telling me Diggs was bad all these years. I was like, damn, I didn't even know he played.
Diggs will bounce back. Don't worry about it. He'll bounce back. And his brother might go to Buffalo. Might have a reunion.
I like the Kobe Durant pickup.
We'll go ahead and get him the Unc shoes. It's over with. You better have him cooking at the family barbecue.
Jalen Thompson's a good addition.
Jalen Thompson,
they need DBs badly, and Jalen Thompson's a good safety for them to add for sure.
That's the one from Kansas. I mean, from Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Rams too. They really had a good
rebuild their
free agency, bolstering their secondary. I knew they'd double dip at corner because they really needed corner help. Shout out to Rams.
They just literally took Kansas City's corners.
Yeah, they did. They took McDuffie, they took Watson, and it makes sense for them with what they want to do up front. So like they're going to be able to fit right in with what they want to do. And they kept Cam Curl, who was a guy that I liked a lot as far as the safety class. So take him off the board very quickly. So shout out to the Rams. They had
and the draft got them going for Makai Lemon, which that'd be insane.
Y'all gonna be mad at Jalen Watson. I don't know. I ain't even confused.
I think Jalen gonna be number 3. I like Emmanuel. Put Emmanuel Ford at that number 2. He showed flashes last year.
they're going to be outside. Number 3 technically is going to be Trent because he's going to be inside. So.
Jalen Watson is serviceable. He ain't nothing special. He's serviceable.
DMac, I don't think we ever got your opinion. How you feel about Kenneth Walker though, and how you gonna fit over there?
Yeah, look, we need running back. Obviously, we did not have one on the roster basically last year. So yeah, I mean, I think that he's a good fit. There's some things as far as he's a little bit more of a big game hunter. As far as the explosive plays that he creates, which we need badly, but sometimes the in between stuff is a little bit iffy. But I love our offensive line. I think as long as we talked about earlier about the run schemes, as long as we get to more of the under center man power scheme type of things to utilize Kingsley, Creed, and Trey, that will help with his inefficiency sometimes. And then he could take advantage of space as far as the passing game is concerned. And we were able to sign DeMarcado, who's a good pass pro guy and a good third down back. So I feel good about where our running back room is. Kenneth Walker is going to be a good pickup for us as long as we utilize him correctly in the realm of our offense.
As a Kansas City fan, can y'all have like a meeting with Travis Kelce and look him in his eyes and shake his hand and let him know it's been a good run? Let it go.
Oh no. It was something behind that though. It was like something with like a family issue. So that was like a good deed by the team.
I just don't want
like, bro, you're still in money at this point, bro. Let somebody else come along, please.
I just don't want us to rely too much on him. That's the thing about it. I think that how Jason Witten and I think he's better than this version of Jason Witten, but you know how Jason Witten at the end of his career was just like, if you need a third down, Witten is going to be open to be able to convert that. We just need to be able to use him in those types of situations. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have him as the focal point of our entire offense. But
when him being on the field though, DMac, Patrick Mahomes is just going to it's just the comfortability is there. His last resort is always going to be Travis Kelce, but he just can't be that guy no more.
What y'all do with pick 9?
To an extent, but I think that there's when you saw the 2022 transition, a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, he's just always going to rely on Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce." Well, then we transitioned pretty easily to having Juju almost 1,000 yards using MVS, et cetera, et cetera. So Mahomes has no problem spreading the ball around. These guys got to be open and they got to be used correctly, and that's a whole different long conversation. But as far as 9 is concerned, if any of these 3 guys, if it's Ruben Bain, Carnell Tate, or Caleb Downs, any of those 3 guys are there, then I'm happy as hell because all 3 of those guys fit specific needs for us. And I think we can build a draft off of that as far as 9 is concerned. And all 3 of those guys, I think are top-notch prospects.
So also behind Carnell Tate? I think Jordan Tyson better.
So based on where
I think Tyson hurt though.
Based on where the mock draft is
hurt, but if he's able to be available, if he's able to stay on the field, I think he's the best wide receiver in this draft.
Yeah, based on where the mock draft currently is slotted right now for the Chiefs, sitting at 9. I keep telling y'all, I don't know if Ruben goes off early. He might go off early, but there's a world in which he doesn't because I think Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, in terms of just defensive talent, might end up going higher than him. But whatever, that's another conversation.
He should, but I think Ruben Bain is the best pass rusher in this draft. Like Arvell Reese is the flashy guy. Ruben Bain is the James Harrison of this draft. He's the guy that the little arm, this and that. He's gonna dominate week after week after week, Sunday after Sunday, bro. I promise you that. Ruben got a different motor that I've never. And I'm real with you. Another one. What's my guy named Brandon on the other side of him? I know his name. Mesidor. Mesidor is going to be an elite pass rusher too, Slim. He's a problem over there. Both them boys gonna be nice wherever they go.
So currently, right now, I'm looking again using the Tankathon draft, the right one, not the one that really keeps using that. Currently, it's just completely different.
I got the up-to-date one.
I think one of Caleb Downs, Carnell Tate, Bain, David Bailey.
Caleb Downs would be good.
Like one of those players is going to be there at 9. Like one of them will, and it could be another one depending because somebody can jump up and get a player they like. Jeremiah Love obviously off the board now because they have a running back situated. I don't know what the Chiefs do, but I do know this: they're going to get one of the preeminent, I think, probably 6 best players in the draft. Just by nature of how the draft was going to fall out. And then if you couple that with, let's say like at 29, I don't know if they draft like per se want to draft like a corner because, DMac has talked about this before. They don't necessarily draft like high-end corners, at the top of in the first round. But like even if they want to shore up their offensive line or if they want to shore up their defensive line and get some like interior pass rush coupled with Jones, or even if they just want to go into the skill position, there's going to be a lot of options available for Kansas City, and this could be a very, very quick rebuild for that team.
So you said Tate, Bain, and Downs.
I think one of Tate, Bain, Downs, or Bailey is probably going to be available for them at 9.
Who's the one would you go with, D-Mac, as a Kansas City fan?
If all 3 of those guys are there, I would personally say Tate. And the reason why I say that is because I'm looking at the rest of this draft, and I feel really good
You don't
about
like Caleb Downs?
No, I love Downs. That's what I'm saying. Any three of those guys, I would do backflips over. So that's just me though. But I'm looking at the rest of this draft.
It needs to be wide receiver, that's for sure.
Because I feel like wide receiver is very thin as you get into day 2 for me personally, and how I like them from that perspective.
Yeah.
I think that at 29 and 40, when we have our next picks, I think that you can get really good edge prospects. I think you can get interior defensive line help, as Swiper certainly mentioned. And I think there are also DBs that can help, whether it's Emil McNeil-Warren, Dylan Thieneman at 29. I think both of those guys would be stretches to see if they get there. There are plenty of corners, Colton Hood, Chris Johnson out of San Diego State that I could see getting into that range too. That make a lot of sense. Edge prospects, TJ Parker, Zion Young, like there's a bunch of, I love Dennis Sutton as well. I can go down the list as far as that is concerned. Gabe Yakus out of Illinois, I love too. And then the interior guys that we talked about too, Kaden McDonald, Caleb Banks, etc. We'll see how that ends up playing out too, because I know he's got an injury, but it's just because I like the depth of this draft as we get into 29 and 40 for those positions more so. I would prioritize the wide receiver, but either way that they want to go between those 3 prospects, I'll be happy because I know
are we double rights?
What'd you say? Oh, yeah. So I think that there's going to be a double-digit suspension that's going to be coming for him, and he's not going to be on this team in 2027. So that's just the reality. They should be operating as if they're not going to have him for the majority of the season.
Would you be surprised y'all acquired some draft pick? Would you be surprised if y'all say, you know what, dog? All that we're gonna get Tate and all these other guys. How about we go shoot the gun and go get somebody big time? Go get AJ Brown. Would you be surprised if something like that happened? If you guys finally like, you know what? Let's make the leap.
I would be surprised because of the money that is going to be owed to him. The age, as far as that is concerned, it's right that borderline of 30. I don't think that would be the move. Now, this is something that did float after the Trent McDuffie deal was, hey, if the Jaguars are serious about possibly trading Brian Thomas Jr., I could see, hey, we go defense at 9 and saying, hey, 29, 40, if we could work something out for Brian Thomas Jr. and involve one of those 2 picks, then I could see why they would go that way, and that would fit better. 2 years of control on that rookie deal. That's more in the way that I would want to go as far as a trade.
I ain't gonna lie though. I would probably say since Mahomes got hurt, I'll say get real nasty, man. Trade down, get another offensive lineman, wait for JJ or Ryan Williams next year.
Hey, well,
trading back would be ideal.
I would have no problems. I would have no problems trading back and getting an extra draft pick for 2027, and that's why part of the McDuffie deal, getting an extra third in 2027, that's nice to also have. The only thing I'll say is this: they are very adamant about Mahomes is playing week 1, and they're not going to be able to put on the season. So that's just they are very adamant about that.
That's I rest my case in. Never mind.
They're very.
That's nasty work. That's nasty work.
They're very clear
because I thought it was a possibility because he got hurt late.
I would like to.
No, he got hurt. He got hurt. He got hurt late in the season. Yeah.
I would like to take it slow, do a little PUP, and bring him along slowly. They're not.
How about take a season off and then come back fresh? How about that? Like
they're not going to do that.
Let's just not see Patrick Mahomes for a year, please.
Please. But no, I mean,
he's been to 5 Super Bowls already. I mean, it's not like he needs
to
to
break. No, look, you guys got 1 year break, so you'll be fine. But no, I understand the.
It hurts every time I say it, don't it?
I hate that nigga for real.
Off, it doesn't matter.
I hate that guy for real. I ain't gonna lie. I prayed about it afterwards, but
you prayed to death is God is not listening.
I cheered. No. I prayed about no. What I'm saying is that I asked God forgiveness because the way I cheered when he got hurt, it was nasty. It was disgusting. Ooh. It was disgusting. You would have thought I won something. It was disgusting. I had to apologize about it, and God forgave me. So I'm sorry, Patrick. You didn't.
That's the thing about.
I shouldn't be that invested. I shouldn't have got that much. I don't even know the man. That's his family and his future, and I was like, yes. It was disgusting. I'm sorry.
Look, you gonna break your ankle over a blade of grass? Watch it happen. Like, how did he break his ankle off grass? How does that happen? Watch
hey, look, that's the thing about winning. You create a lot of enemies. But to your offensive line point, Bama, I'll say this. I understand why a lot of people are talking about that because of obviously moved around with Jawan Taylor. We have Jalen Moore that we paid last offseason to slide into that right tackle spot. I feel great about our left tackle to right guard combination as far as that's concerned. So that's why I'm less inclined to talk about the offensive tackles in the class, which is very shaky in my personal opinion from that perspective too. Absolutely. So I feel like we're in a good spot from that part moving forward as far as offensive line. It's the other things that I feel.
Do y'all still have Jawan Taylor?
No, we cut him. He's
still
free
agent.
Still a free agent.
False start Bart, boy.
Terrorist.
False start
That man is
Bart.
a terrorist.
Boy. Hey, one thing Jawan said was do is get an early
He's
jump.
a terrorist.
If they really called what they should have called, he would have had a false start every play. I ain't gonna lie to you. False start Bart.
You guys talk about the holding
stumped,
stuff.
man.
I promise it's going to be so funny. He's going to go somewhere and he's going to play very well, and his penalty numbers are going to go down. There was a certain spotlight that was put on us because of Jawan Taylor in that aspect that I think is going to negative or positively affect where he goes next.
No, we watched the games. He false started every play. DMac, we watched it.
A lot of tackles get early jumps. He was somebody that was branded for getting him and getting penalized for them.
Hey, Brady, he was getting a Jerry Seinfeld jump. Understand what I'm saying?
I don't care, man. I allow it, bro. I don't think people understand, bro, how hard of a position tackle is, bro. Them boys coming out that sprinter stance. You know, when we be like, oh, you was a Von Miller fan, bro. Like, he used to time that snap to perfection where you felt bad for the offensive line, bro, because when they slow it down, you see he already coming out his sprinter stance and the offensive lineman still doing this. I'm like, oh my
God. He had Chiefs fan. Y'all niggas ever seen he had Chiefs fan. Y'all ever seen Derek Thomas jump? Derek Thomas had one of the fastest jumps.
I was about to say DT because DT was playing in an area before they realized that they needed a special human being to play offensive tackle to deal with edge rushers. So DT, you see the athleticism that DT has as far as getting off for a jump compared to the offensive.
DT had like 8 sacks and 3 quarters, and they called the dogs off. All right, that's enough. DT, sit down, dude. 8 sacks and 3 quarters.
Von Miller was facing special athletes at offensive tackle. DT was going up with guys that they didn't realize couldn't just be guards that moved after tackle at that point.
They were low-key guards. There were low-key guards and centers he was going to be.
DT be in the backfield before the ball come. I tell you, he was a problem.
DT, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of this stuff now, y'all. So, do we have any more winners before we get into the losers free agency? Anybody? Well, I guess let me ask this directly. The Saints signed Travis Etienne, Noah Fant, David Edwards. They got Caden Ellis, I actually think, who's a good interior linebacker. He got a 3-year deal for $33. He has $23 million guaranteed. They also got Julian Blackman, but that's a 1-year deal. They obviously got a punter in Ryan Wright. But is there a world next year where the Saints are like actually contending to win the NFC South?
I think they're a year away. Tyler Shaw is a guy you can clearly tell, and him and Olave's connection is special. But they do need some offensive talent on the side of the football. They do need like another receiver. They need a backup running back.
They got the 8th pick in the draft.
Yeah, they do. But still, they're a young team. It's hard. Isn't Kellen Moore still over there?
Yeah, Kellen Moore's there. So right now, based on Tankathon, they have them taking Ruben Bain Jr. at 8, and then in the second round, getting Omar Cooper Jr., which would be a terrific.
Moving falling that far. What happened with Bain?
Well, but I'm telling you, like I think it's the
it's the arms, bro.
It's the arms, but also too. He's not like remember last year, what's the old boy at Penn State that went to Giants last year, y'all, 2 years ago?
He wasn't good. The one that won the Ray Lewis number.
Joe Carter. So remember, like when you look at some of these passes, there's specific things they're looking for like top 5, top 4 picks. Ruben is not a traditional like athlete at that position, taking in top 5. I'm not saying this is what they should do, but in terms of why he's falling, they don't know if him and David Bailey, what is the actual gap? Because David, on the other end, is like a freak athlete. But David's obviously a different kind of protected athlete than Bain. But I'm saying in this situation, but look, think about it like this early. It's not like Arvell Reese is a super freak. So he's currently slotted to go top 5. Francis Malgoa, it's a super freak tackle. He's projected to go in the top 3. Jeremiah Love, super freak running back, projected top 5. Sonny Styles, super freak, do it all inside linebacker that can also rush.
And another thing,
but here's the problem.
People saw with Will Campbell, like in the short arms and stuff like that, and how big of a prospect he was coming out. People are taking notice of that, and people are a little scared of that. So
but here's my problem.
Normally they're supposed to value motor over that. That's the reason why.
Yeah, for sure.
But got drafted at 190 pounds.
There's times where he's getting held up by tackles that are bigger than him.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem though. Here's the problem with me. We've had too many instances in the past And we see it. We literally see scouts not knowing what they're looking at. Because I'm be honest with you, if you still going off that, bro, hey, bro, watch the film. All this super freaks. Yeah, you can say Edward Reese is a super freak. Ruben Bain was a super freak. Watch the film. Again, I knew a guy who didn't get drafted, who short arms, wasn't that big stature, who dominated. We look at James Harrison come out the draft as, oh, man, your arms little, even though you bench press 25 about 40 times. But, you know, it's cool. You're little. You're 6 foot, maybe 6'1". Motor was crazy in college, and you seen what he became. He literally was a DPOY, was one of the most dominating forces in football with his time there. Like Ruben Bain, watch the film. I literally watched Averill Reese go against, like, again, I watched that Indiana line dominate everybody. Didn't dominate Ruben Bain. Didn't dominate Ruben Bain. Ruben Bain handled them the same way he handled everybody else, man. Like Bama said, Ruben Bain motor is nonstop. So much so that Mesidor is getting first round looks because of that. And you didn't know who the hell Mesidor was coming to this season.
The thing I'll say, and Swiper brings it up about, you know, what scouts are looking for, especially in that top 10 stuff. The thing is, when you see a guy that has short arms, you have to ask yourself the question: is it going to limit what he can do in the next level? The answer is Ruben Bain Jr. has already accounted for what his short arms is. You look at the pass rush counters that he brings to the table, they are built off having short arms and the leverage that he can use to attack offensive tackles, even with the length, not allowing them to get into his chest, being able to put his shoulder into his chest to set up hump moves, which is better if you have short arms and you're a pass rusher as far as that is concerned. The type of cross chops that he used, these things are all built off of actually having shorter arms and using that leverage accordingly. And some people talked about him reducing in. I think you can have him do that on late downs if you want to be able to do that as well. The run stuff, the run stopping stuff is actually going to be a little bit of a question mark, because there's a thing about length and being able to disengage from blocks that makes it a little bit easier if you have said length.
Ruben but his mean, motor, man, he's too mean.
The motor is the thing that I think would help you feel better about what he could do from that perspective, because you know he's going to compete on every single down. So I love Ruben Bain Jr. He's already answered the, hey, do you know how to play with short arms question multiple times over, in my personal opinion. So that's why I don't have any personal issues with that. I understand why it is for a guy like Cassius Howell, who has no idea what he's doing from a pass rush plan, and he has shorter arms. So it's like, okay, well, we got to be able to teach him how to use this compared to Ruben Bain, who is young, ascending, and also already knows how to use it.
You notice for an old lineman, one of the worst things you got to deal with is the guy who's coming every single. Ruben gonna be the guy. Old lineman gonna be like, hey, this nigga every down he won't smoke, every down, and then by the fourth quarter it's like he's getting better. Ruben, man, I hope somebody I like get him so I can really root for him, because if we go.
Well, I think the problem
if Kansas City get him, I gotta hate him.
They're projecting Arvell Reese to be an every down player at every spot, and so I think the difference is it's like kind of like Micah Parsons, where you can slide him on the edge, but also blitz him from the inside, but also put him in coverage. Very similar to Sonny Styles. So, like, again, Arvell Reese, just so people understand, is 6'4", 241. That's a monster. Sonny Styles is 6'5", 244. Another monster. David Bailey is 6'3.5", 251. He's taller than Ruben Bain, with longer arms than Ruben Bain, and also ran a 4.5 edge out of Texas Tech. And then Caleb Downs is another super freak, 5'11", 206. And he is an absolute sideline to sideline demon. He's great in pass. He's a good run stopper. So when you have, like, I think the issue is Bain is getting caught in the post-combine hype as well, because pre-combine, Bain was the projected number 1 overall defensive talent, period. But then what happened is that when Sonny and them went to the combine and went to their pro days, everybody was like, you know, these players are way better than we realize. We can use these, you know, because that's what it's a shorts and t-shirt competition.
So we love a nigga that look good in short and t-shirt. When I look at Averill Reese, who did they lose to in the playoffs?
Arvell Reese,
Miami.
Did you see how Averill Reese looked in that game? Did we watch the film on that? Didn't jump on the screen for you. We've seen demigods. We've seen Jadeveon Clowney. We've seen Chase Young. We've seen them guys flop out because the film shows you what's what. Now, guys like Aiden Hutchinson, guys like J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt, you saw what they was in college, and you saw what they was.
J.J. went number 11 for a reason, though.
I'm hip, but I'm saying to you is that when you look at Ruben Bain, bro,
Aaron Donald went 14 overall for a reason as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just put the film on, bro. If you put the film on, you'll see Ruben Bain is, I give him James Harrison comp. Like, he's that dominant when it comes to just the bully in him. Like, he makes grown men look like not grown men. I thought Ruben Bain was 35 out there. I ain't gonna lie to you, Slim. He was like, he's a grown-ass man out there.
He looks 35.
He does. Old school sweat. The turf is sweat coming off his arm. He got those. I don't know what that is he has in his arm, but that looked fire. Like he just looked like a menace. He looks like Bane. His last name is Bane.
Is he the best defensive
Bane
player?
broke Batman's back.
Like, is he the best defensive player in the draft?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I'm saying the draft disagrees though, like pretty strong. Is what I'm saying.
But the draft, the draft is t-shirts and shorts, and the draft is measurables. Man, watch that. We do that too much. Measurable. How did measurables work with Puka Nacua? How we feel about Puka Nacua? How did measurables work with Puka Nacua?
Well, to be fair, Puka
wasn't the fastest guy in the world, huh?
Puka did have
fifth round.
Puka did have good measurables. He just fell due to injury. That's the reason.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the best defensive player is honestly Caleb Downs, and he's not going to be as drafted as high as he should be. But the versatility of Caleb Downs is really special. I think he plays zone and man coverage. Sideline to sideline. He's a big hitter too. He's real special. Like he shows that he's durable as well. Like Caleb Downs is a special guy to me, but he's gonna because of the position that he plays in. Nobody values safety as much as edge rusher. He's gonna fall a little bit, but whoever gets him is gonna be special. It doesn't matter what scheme he goes into. He's gonna be able to
about Caleb Downs like he Ed Reed. God damn. No,
that's what a lot of people be saying. Like I like Caleb Downs. He cool, bro. Shouts out. We had his brother.
But Kyle Hamilton went what? He went number 8 overall or 7 overall.
I think top 10.
Kyle Hamilton is outside top 10.
I know, but I'm saying Caleb. I think Caleb is near about what Kyle was coming out of Notre Dame, though. I think Caleb's.
But Kyle also 6'4".
I know, but that's where the measurable thing coming. Caleb, for me, in terms of just pure ball skills, is one of the best safeties we've had in the last 10 years coming out of the draft.
I agree. I agree with drink more water right here, bro.
He's not the best defensive player in the draft, but he's really good, though.
I like Jacob a lot. I would not necessarily say that. For me, it's very close between Bane and Downs, and then I would say Styles is very close behind them, too.
Because y'all don't value signal callers on defense?
Well, I think that Styles could be the green dot. That's the thing that I love the most about Styles is if you want him as a true will, you can play him there. If you wanted him as a Sam on early downs, you could play him there. Honestly, I think that and I know this may sound crazy, I think he's even got better pass rush juice today than Arvell Reese. Now, Reese has more upside, but even still, I would say when I'm watching those two on tape, I like what I see of Styles off the edge a little bit more. And then obviously he can be the green dot. So that's why I would say that he's worth mentioning as far as that's concerned. Downs can play anywhere you want a safety to. There were some questions.
Well, DMac, real quick before you move on to Downs, can you rank how you would rank? So let me do this real quick because I think this would be interesting.
Be careful biting that Ava Reese cheese.
So you got Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, CJ Allen, Anthony Hill, Jacob Rodriguez. Let's just do those 5. Maybe I did it for you. How would you rank those 5, like in terms of just pure linebacker talent and like how you would take them in the draft? So again, I want to say it again: Rodriguez, Hill, Sonny Styles, Reese, and then Allen.
Are we saying pure off-ball linebacker?
Yeah, pure off-ball linebackers. Yeah.
Okay, so pure off-ball linebacker, it would be Styles, Allen. Okay. Styles, Allen, and then I would say Reese by a smidge over Rodriguez, and then I'll go Anthony Hill after that. That would probably be how I would stack those 5 up.
Do you think those 5 are all going to be good players, like in the league, in some way, shape, or form?
Well, this is the thing about it, and particularly when we're talking about a guy like Styles or a guy like Arvell Reese that has the versatility that they do, you have to be in the right system. You have to go to a place that has a plan to make sure that we are getting the most out of you. The most recent example that I bring to this is Mike McDonald when he. Well, no, I was going to go to the negative Isaiah Simmons after that, but I was saying the specific one. Mike McDonald, when he drafted Nick Emenwari last year, said, I know exactly what I'm going to have you do, and I'm going to have you do this from day one, and we are going to teach it, and we saw the value that you got out of it. You can't draft these guys and not have a very specific plan for understanding how you're going to get that value out of it. So that's the big thing for me for a guy like Styles and Arvell Reese. They have the talent in the world to be able to do that. You have to be able to put them in right positions to succeed as far as that is concerned.
Nick Emenwari got snubbed as far as defensive rookie of the year. He should have won it. I'm going to keep saying that. Go ahead.
Over Carson Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, Schwarzenegger I thought was awesome.
I think
I'm not mad at the Emenwari shout out because of what he did.
I haven't seen a white boy be that good at linebacker since Brian Urlacher.
Huh?
Kuechly. Kuechly was in between.
Yeah.
I apologize because I forgot Kuechly was
so
white. Kuechly was so good. I thought he was Hispanic or something. I didn't know. I thought he was different. Thought he was mixed. I ain't gonna lie. He was amazing. I wanted to say this too.
I think 4-4. It turned my head. I was like,
I think free agent wise.
Real quick out because I want to say what Swiper said. Zaven Collins or Isaiah Simmons, you can use both of those guys as negatives because the Cardinals have done this before where they draft linebackers and don't know what the fuck to do with them. Those would be the two guys as well.
Well, the Texas kid too that went to Cincinnati, bro. What was his name in the second round?
You're talking about I know
Bama. You know what I'm talking about. He was a 5-star coming into Texas, and then he got drafted in the second round to Cincinnati. This is like maybe 10 years ago. Somebody in the chat knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
Nah, bro. He went to Texas, y'all. Somebody in the chat knows. He went to Texas. He was a 5-star linebacker coming into college. He was supposed to be an absolute animal.
And he played for the Bengals.
Yeah, he was mid. He was mid at Texas, and then he went to the Bengals. But he was like a super freak athlete that just never panned out, like as an overall defensive player.
Only person I can think of is Taylor Mays. He plays safety.
Nah, bro. Yeah.
He's talking about Michael Johnson, right?
No, bro. Bro, what was his name, dog? That's gonna bug me. Let me see.
Was it someone with a G?
5-star Texas.
Talk about it's not Malik. Is it Malik Jefferson?
No. That's the first Malik Jefferson.
It was Malik Jefferson.
Yeah, Malik Jefferson. Yes,
okay.
He was a 5-star out of. He was crazy, but he was also one of those dudes that was like a crazy athlete. And to his point, you go into a situation and it's not an ideal one, and it doesn't work out for you at all. And Isaiah Simmons obviously is a peak of that. Taylor Mays was also another one as you mentioned.
Isaiah Simmons, they didn't know what to do because how he was used.
He played so many different positions in college.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the problem. They didn't know what to do with him.
Bro,
I think they did the same thing with Mark Barron too.
If
they
I had
Mark Barron playing linebacker after a season or two.
Yeah. Well, he needed to play linebacker in the league.
He needed to play linebacker. Yeah.
Well, we did the same thing to Patrick. When Thomas Davis came to us, he was a safety. We put him outside linebacker.
What's the name was a safety too? Y'all's linebacker y'all drafted to be with Kuechly. It was Kuechly. It was
Jack
Davis.
Thomas. No,
Shaq Thomas too.
You know what?
Thompson.
Am I tripping? Wasn't Wilson that played for the Cardinals? Wasn't he a linebacker? They put a safety. Or am I tripping?
Adrian Wilson.
Yeah.
No, he played safety. He played
safety.
Yeah, he just got old.
He just hit like a linebacker, boy.
Yeah, he was a freak of nature, bro. 6'3".
That was a good time, boy. You had to hit it on every team back then, boy.
That 71-inch box jump he did for the Pro Bowl was insane, bro.
And he was built like a Greek god. Like that man was strong. I think that when we talk about free agent, I want to say this. When we talk about free agent winners, and no one said it, but I'm saying because I like a good dirty move. I think the Ravens, man, listen, man. Way to snatch that back. Hey, you know what? On second thought, I'm going to go with the guy that I can just pick up with no draft picks. I'm going to keep my draft picks. I'm going to give you that nigga. Hey, take him back. I'm going to go with this white boy. And not only that, I'm going to get $70 million in cap after I restructure this Lamar contract. Way to go. Bravo, Ravens. Bravo. You ain't ever made a trade on Madden, turn the game off because you made an accident? Oh, I could have got somebody better. Wait a minute.
Well, in B and DMac, so with that, the Ravens now have the 14th pick back. How would you utilize that pick for the Ravens in that way they could I explained this last episode. So the difference between getting an elite 2-3 years, which was because of the projected knee injury that Max Crosby had, they were concerned about long-term functionality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of getting a 2-3 year premium with no two first round picks, they then traded it for Trey Henderson at 31 years old, who's 2 years older, but less production on basically 80% of the production, 75% of the production.
Third in sacks in the last 5 years, only behind TJ Watt and Myles Garrett.
$23 million a year. And then they also get 10 years of controllable contracts with a first round pick in 2026 and a first round pick in 2027. So to Early's point, they they subsidize their own deal and then they're getting long-term projected value back instead of getting Crosby.
Trey Henderson can't stop the run though. That's the problem.
Not to the same level.
Yeah, not at all.
Specifically,
what it was is the Raiders tried to trade, school lunch. They tried to trade them for a peanut butter jelly sandwich. But hey, man, somebody had a Lunchable. Somebody had a Lunchable. Wait a minute now. I know we had Lunchables in here. I'll take this PB&J back. I'm gonna get this Lunchable to be able to get your picks back, to be able to get that cap space back, and to get a guy just as productive. Man, come on, man. That was beautiful play. But bravo, and let Ruben Bates slide down there for the Ravens and let.
We ain't got to worry about him going that far. But I do think that there are going to be some good options for them.
I've seen crazier things.
Peter Woods. I'm gonna keep saying it. Get Peter Woods, bro. Like
Peter Woods is special.
Now, the reason why I think
Wood
that
is
they
too,
have
number 17 from Clemson. He nice. I like it.
I think that they have
like
a little
more though.
I
Were you
like
saying
him to
DMac?
play. He can play.
Were you
He
saying
can ball.
DMac?
He can ball.
Yeah.
You're good. I think they have a little bit more of a need at that odd front edge spot than necessarily the nose tackle spot, just because I think Jones is pretty good there. Matabuke is up in the air. So if they wanted to go with one of those guys that can play in the interior, they said it. Obviously, Caleb Banks could be one of those guys that could play there in that.
Wouldn't that be drafting a little bit ahead of where he's projected to go, him and Peter Woods?
To an extent, but we're a little bit far out. So some of the projections, they're kind of all over the place. There's going to be a little bit before we can really hone into it. So I don't think it'd be crazy. And another guy that it feels like is sliding a little bit too, I think would also make sense. And it's going to sound crazy, but Kenyon Sadiq, if you wanted to be,
I said that same thing too, bro.
And then still playing your 2 tight end sets and have Durham Smythe and Mark Andrews do the end line.
That would be crazy though, man. If they had Kenyon and Mark Andrews and Henry.
Again, I kind of gotta agree with Early, bro. Y'all getting too hype off these t-shirts and panties.
He was good in Oregon.
Listen here. I told Trent this. Kenyon Sadiq is cool, but I think the best tight end in this draft is Triggs from Baylor. That's
what's the one? Oh man, who does he play? Does he play for Louisville?
Now, to me, I think he's going to hit big in the NFL. Him.
Well, he's projected like a third round pick though.
The only reason Sadiq is talking about the first round, he ran that 4.3 in the 40. Like
he was already projected first before that.
Dude, he was already
He was barely used.
Every single tape I watched on him, he was special.
I mean, look, Bama, you ain't got to convince me about a Baylor kid. I think Michael Trigg is crazy too, but like,
maybe I wasn't watching right. I just didn't.
It's a fair thing because if you
the limited role he had in that offense, he was special.
If you want to, and I think that if you want a tight end that you could run your entire offense through, then he's not that level. He's not a Kelson Loveland. He's not a Tyler Warren, in my personal opinion. But if you want to be able to use him as a move tight end to be able to be an elite athlete that you can go after guys with mismatches, particularly for the way that the Ravens like to run their offense, I think he makes a lot of sense from that perspective. Now, the easy pick would be if you get Mekhi Lemon or Jordan Tyson that fall there 14, I think they could use another wide receiver. That makes a lot of sense for their offense too. But those would be the other 2 places, even front, or I should say odd front end. One of those guys you want to slide a defensive tackle out or an edge in, Ruben Bain theoretically could, but I don't think he's going to be there. Or you want to go with Kenyon Sadiq. I can understand that as far as that is concerned. Because I think
who I think was really nice at tight end, and you got to really watch college football to know the Tanner Kazul from Houston.
Yeah, 6'7".
Bro, I watched him all season. I love his game, man. I love his game. He's 6'7", but don't move. I didn't know he was like 6'4", 6'5". I didn't realize he was that big. 6'7". I wasn't saying 6'7" because he was moving so fluently. Great hands, got a little wiggle in the open field. Good blocker. I love Tanner is a guy that he gonna go somewhere and be great. I promise y'all that. He ain't high on the draft boards. Went to Houston, but was one of the better tight ends statistically last year. And I just watched him play all season.
If we had to project y'all, because this is actually a fun. Tight end's one of my funnest positions to talk about because as somebody who played linebacker at a very high level, as Bama has obviously realized this and talks about, tight ends are the worst people on the field because if they're huge and they can block, they suck to deal with in the pass pro game. If they're huge and they can run, they suck to cover. Mm-hmm. Tight ends literally change the dynamic of like what you're able to do offensively. I cannot tell you how much it sucks to play against a dominant tight end. Which one of these tight ends do y'all think, if we look 3 years from now, maybe even a year, 2 years from now, and we're like, damn, like that was a game changer at the tight end position. This is like not just a starting level tight end, but like this is somebody that like literally is changing the way offenses are scheming. If there's somebody on your board right now you're looking at saying that's going to be this guy, who would be your guy that you would pick in this class?
I'm telling you, Tanner. I think Tanner.
It all depends on where they go, man. It all depends on where they go because if you get that tight end from Oregon, and if he goes to the Rams, he'll be special. That's for damn sure.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I would say.
That would be crazy too.
If actually gets to like utilize him to his full.
Why would you even say that? No, I don't know. I'm good. Like,
why would you? I was about to say, why would you say that? No, I'm good.
That'd be special. What are you talking about?
I know, but that would be the point. Like, if you had,
no. If he can help Matthew Stafford get another MVP in the Super Bowl, I need to push narratives.
People to
I need to push narratives. I think Matthew Stafford better than Aaron Rodgers.
He already has 6 people to throw to. How many more do you need?
I'm afraid of him getting Mekhi Lemon. If he get Mekhi Lemon, I'm gonna shit
another one. That's what he needs.
I'm tripping. I don't know ball. I forgot about Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt.
Yeah, he's there too.
He's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
That's gonna be another problem too.
I think Stowers and Sadiq, you're talking about where the landing spot is and how you use them. I think that's going to be a big piece of it. But the guy for me would be Max Clare. I think that you see what he can do, and I think that he's underutilized.
You still we went for the white boy. You jumped over those 2 blacks.
Look, he can play. He can play in line if you want him to. You can split him out too. But I think he brings a lot of versatility to the table. I think he has the athleticism to develop too. So Clare would be the guy that I would say I would tag as my guy at the tight end position.
Well, those the 1, 2, and 3. Keon, Sadiq, Stowers, and
remember Earl Santana. Just remember Earl Santana. I don't want to hit no Tanner love. And 2 years from now, when Tanner is tearing the league apart at 6'7", looking like a baby Gronk, I want to hear it.
For somebody further down the board, I love Eli Raridan out of Notre Dame. You talk about again ability to play inside if you want him to, athlete at the position, also soft hands. I like what he brings to the table out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. I think my issue with Mike with Trigg again is some, obviously, it's the Baylor, so great. He's a great pass catcher. That blocking is gonna be a journey for him, like becoming an actual contributing factor in the blocking game. That is going to be an issue because I don't know how strong he is. He's gonna have to work on his leverage. He's gonna have to work on his point of attack. But dealing with NFL defensive ends, like that's a lot of work. So he's gonna be a purely pass option to start his career off, and so that's going to limit some of his upside early, but he could also get better. He's only 240, just so y'all know. He's 6'4", 240, which is kind of like, that's very slim, for a tight end, but we'll see. Like, he could end up being a guy. Eli Stowers is also really good. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, man. I think this tight end room could end up being okay. I think there's 5 guys that could legit walk on teams next year and be starters and like end up being good starters. And I think Kenyon Sadiq's the best of the bunch.
I don't know. There's again at the top end. There's, in my opinion, it's not a Loveland or a Warren, but if you get these guys in the right situations, I think that they could be good contributors to really good tight ends in the National Football League for sure.
Last year's tight end class was a lot better. I'm gonna be honest with you. To me,
Warren
Loveland, and even
Fannin was really good as well.
Yeah, Harold Fannin is a dog last year. Absolutely phenomenal.
And
before he fell off, what's the tight end for the Chargers before he fell off a little bit?
Gaston.
No. Gaston was good. Yeah, he was great.
Pretty damn good. Those are special guys.
I would say Terrence Ferguson as well for the Rams was very good for their 3 tight end sets too. And we didn't get a lot of him, but when he played, he was very good.
Listen, I know he was a murderer, but hey, man, just for those 2 or 3 years, man, boy, Hernandez, man, he was a killer. No pun intended.
I know he's a murderer is a crazy way to start the season.
He got a $6 million deal for
he was so
why did you have that on your mind? Nobody,
because he was just a guardable 6'1". You remember?
Why did you have that on your mind?
Brandon, you remember we did with him on Madden, man? We had a good time. I wanted to do this, man.
Nah, bro, I remember when I was watching that jump though. They put that boy at running back. They gave that boy the ball here. I said, boy, that is not no tight end right there. I was like, I don't know what that is, but that's not a tight end.
I want to do this. We do a game on here, DMac, and Brandon knows, called Keep 3 Cut 7.
Oh my gosh!
It's in light of the free agency. I have a 3 Key Cut 7 worst free agent signings in NFL history. These are for the true ball knowers. Okay, so in this game, if you know DMac, I'm gonna name 10 people. You're gonna cut 7 and keep 3. Okay, so you get to and you choose or who you keep or who you cut. Okay. Got to be a majority vote. So, first name on the list, I got Brock Osweiler to Houston Texans.
No, there's worse. There's worse.
I think there's worse.
This is for the keep the worst.
Keep the worst.
Okay, Brock Osweiler got a 4-year, $64 million deal, right?
$72 million deal, actually.
There's worse. Trust me. There's worse. Trust me. Watch.
I think there's worse.
There's worse. There's worse.
They got off of him like early too, so that
they did.
All right, so we cutting that?
Yeah,
I'm cutting.
All right, we're cutting Brock. All right, next name on the list, Le'Veon Bell to the New York Jets. 4 years, $52 million.
That's worse. That's not even that bad. Trust me.
Yeah, let's blame Le'Veon and not the Jets overall in their offense.
No, it's definitely Jets' fault. we can say
worse. Next.
All right, are we cutting Le'Veon?
I'll be cutting Le'Veon.
All right, next name on the list, if you know. Javon Walker to the Oakland Raiders, coming off that Green Bay Packers seasons. 6 years for $55 million, and this is 09, by the way, too. Right. That's a lot of money for a receiver. 09.
That was a lot of money.
It's worse, man. I'm telling you, he ain't naming.
He produced only 196 yards total. before they release them.
They're worse, man. They're worse,
the
bro.
percentage of cap that was back then was pretty high.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, because there's two names off top of my head. One of them is married to a great actress that we haven't gotten to. That is those are two we're keeping.
Shut it up.
Yeah, so we're definitely cutting.
The first
next
year
name on the list.
out, what you talking about?
We cut that for sure. Next name on the list: Andre Rison, Cleveland Browns.
How much was the money?
It was 5. Now this is 95. 5 years for $20 million.
That's a good number.
That was a lot, nigga. That was a lot of money.
I'm still cutting, bro.
Understand? In the '90s, Deion Sanders was the highest paid corner. He was getting like 1.5 a year, and that was like highest paid. That was Deion, like prime money.
Again, it's Cleveland.
So for comparison, the NFL cap was 37 million, and then so 5 out of 37. You know, it's a good chunk.
5 divided by 37. That would be exactly 13.5% of the contract. So roughed out today, that would be times. What's the contract salary cap right now?
320.
320. All right, times 3.
Man, that'd
be $41 million a year, basically.
Albert
that's
a criminal.
A lot. That's a lot.
Albert Haynesworth was
and Andre Rison might make the list for me, but I'm fine with cutting him to hear some more of them.
Next, so we for sure cutting Rison.
We can cut Rison.
All right, that's 4 cuts. Next name on the list: Josh Norman, Washington Redskins. 5 year.
He was fine. He was fine. He just got stiff armed by Derrick Henry. That's all it was. He was fine.
He was regular levels.
Yeah, he was just regular. He had one great year with the Panthers. Yeah, he's regular.
I would cut him. I would not be keeping him.
All right, cool. Next name on the list. This is a big one right here. If you know, you know. Neil O'Donnell, New York Jets. 5 years, $25 million in 1996.
No, because there's two.
This is the one that played for the Lions, who never really touched the field. Man, I think he might have had one game where they paid this man. This is how desperate they were.
No, because there's two more names. We have one already we kept, and there's 2 names coming up. So no, early plays these games nasty. He's disgusting. So like, whatever you're hearing now, it's gonna get worse.
So next name on the list: Nnamdi Asomugha.
Yeah, keep.
5 years, $60 million.
Keep.
He was good the first year. I don't know why we keep acting like he wasn't.
No,
he was still locked down the first year.
He was trash. That was the worst corner contract of all time. He made more money than Champ Bailey, Darrelle Revis, all of them. No, that was horrible. What year was that? 07?
It was 2011.
11?
Yeah.
5 years for $60 million.
First year he was good, but that second year he was so bad. I can keep this.
So we keeping it?
I'm keeping
that.
Keep.
All right. So okay, cool. All right, bet. Next name on the list: David Boston to the San Diego Chargers. 7 years. Who gets 7 years?
Y'all are casuals, bro.
7 years, $47 million.
David Boston was a monster. He was a monster.
For the Cardinals, he was
a good player. No, he
couldn't catch it. He couldn't catch it.
Not awful. He was not awful. He was not awful.
If we played only one season, by the way.
But he got hurt. He did have 70 for 880 in that 1 year with San Diego, to be fair. So he got hurt.
Bro. He's saying you got no ball. I watched David Boston. First off, he was a physical freak, number one, and then injuries got him. He was a great receiver for a number of years.
I would keep
him early. Do you see pictures of David Boston? Have you actually seen him?
His arms were like he looked like John Cena. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, he was a freak for sure.
He was ridiculous, but he couldn't catch. So we keep David Boston. No,
I'm cutting David Boston.
I'm cutting.
All right, cool. So far, those are 8 names that was displayed. We went Brock Osweiler. You guys said cut. We went Le'Veon Bell. You guys said cut. We went Javon Walker. You guys said cut. We went Andre Rison. You guys said cut. We went Josh Norman. You guys said cut. We went Neil O'Donnell. You guys said cut. You kept Nnamdi. You cut David Boston. So the last 2 names that you decided to keep were none other than
Russell Wilson.
Hilarious.
That was bad too. That was hilariously bad.
So you decided to keep DeMarco Murray, Philadelphia Eagles, 2015, the Eagles,
2015. Yeah,
and you decided to keep Albert Haynesworth.
Yeah,
there you go. All right,
$100 million.
That is the number one joint I was looking for.
7 years, $100 million in 2009, $41 million guaranteed.
2009.
All time.
He had $100 million.
$41 million guaranteed.
He was making Kobe money in the 2000s.
That was bad. It was
honorable mention.
Historically bad.
Honorable mention because it's now over with. Kirk Cousins.
No.
Atlanta Falcons.
No. Kirk earned every bit of the money he earned, bro. He had an Achilles injury.
Definitely Falcons. Oh, okay. Well, if you just say injury,
130 million. It was like 90 guaranteed.
He's still. I think that's still the best quarterback season they've had besides their MVP year from Matt Ryan. Still. Now what?
I think I would keep Rising over DeMarco Murray personally. That's just me.
Yeah, I would.
Rising was pretty bad for the Browns.
He was, but and they also the Browns were so they're just abysmal back then anyway. So
the Browns.
Y'all, there's 350 people watching this show. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Y'all know what time it is. Let me get to this too. So the receivers in this draft, I'm torn, and I'm I've been doing my guys. I've been picking my guys in both drafts, the NBA and the NFL. I have officially stamped this already, but I want to make it very public. I'm stamping Chris Bell from Louisville. That's my guy. I think Chris Bell is going to be an absolute animal in the NFL. And I have no idea why people are not higher on him. He's currently slotted as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th ranked receiver in this draft. He's 6'2", 222. And if you like Deebo Samuels, you should love Chris Bell.
Well, that's the name you just. That's the name I don't like.
Chris Bell or Chris Brazzle?
Chris Bell, Louisville.
Chris Brazzle's gonna be a dog.
I don't know how people are sleeping on him, bro. He's currently.
Concepcion is definitely a nice receiver too. I don't understand why he doesn't get talked about.
Right? I'm not good with
that position, but Concepcion is nice, man. He's nice.
Like you can't get paid to get busy in the slot. Come on now, we've seen it.
Are you taking him in? He's projected to go right now to the Giants in the second round. Are you taking Concepcion? Like if you had wanted to. First 35 picks. Are y'all drafting them
in the second round? That's pretty damn good.
And the Giants would be a great fit because when Malik Neighbors back, he's a better version of that guy who can't get a lot of yards when he catches balls. Wanda Robinson.
Casey is not necessarily my flavor. I do like Bell, especially for the versality that he brings to the table. Depending, I guess if we're counting Omar Cooper Jr., I like him the most out of this late first, early second group, I suppose, just because of his versatility and the compete that he brings with. But I understand the Bell shout out because
I like Branch too, though. I like Branch. I know Branch is that fast, Steve. I know he's running 4.7s. I mean 4.2s.
I'm not a Branch guy. The reason why is he just scares me. As a Chiefs fan, I have PTSD for these smaller guys that are a little bit more gadgety. Kadarius Toney, McCole Hardman.
Do you like Toney for the Miami Dolphins? I mean for the Miami Hurricanes?
I didn't.
I mean neither. I don't like
it's a lot of
them Tonys give me PTSD for sure.
You got to be a real wide receiver for me to feel good about picking you in the second round. Branch doesn't necessarily have enough.
One guy that is not special at all, and I don't see why he's getting overhyped. Denzel Boston from Washington.
Because of his size.
I hate him. No. His routes are ugly.
I hate him. It's crazy.
His routes are ugly. I get he goes and dunks on people. That's cool, whatever. Yeah. But we've seen that from Keon Coleman. He reminds me of Keon Coleman. I don't like Denzel Boston. He the way he runs is funny. The way he runs routes is terrible. His release is terrible. Don't like him. I guarantee he's a bust. I guarantee.
It's crazy.
Well, go ahead. I'm about to say, speaking of bust, I got another one for Keep Your Cut 7. If you guys, top 10 busts all time.
Well, yeah. Let me ask this real quick because I'm telling people, bro. That so let's say this DMac, you two, since you're obviously the guest here. So say the Chiefs in the first round, and then the first 3 picks. If I told you they walked away in this draft with, let's just go conservative, Mansour Delane. They walked away with
Delane's amazing.
Let's say McNeil Warren at 29, and then at 40, they walked away with, let's say, Omar Cooper Jr. How would you feel about that?
That's a good draft. That's a good draft.
I think it's a good draft. I'm not the biggest corner at 9 guy for me.
Me neither. Unless he's like
the thing with Delane is
Delane's a baller.
He is, but he
at 9 he got to be.
He does, for me at least. He doesn't have a lot of inside versatility. He's more of a pure outside cornerback. So that's why I don't necessarily love him a lot for the Chiefs. I think that talent-wise, you could argue that he's worthwhile as far as that pick is concerned. He just necessarily wouldn't be the one for me specifically in that case.
A good scheme fit for the Chiefs Avion Terrell.
Yeah,
out of Clemson. Oh my God, that would be so that plug and play.
But again, to go at 9, he got to be.
I'm not saying he should go at 9. I'm saying
he'll
probably slide. He'll probably slide to the second round and be a first round talent. Like he's a first round talent for sure. He does everything.
I'm not gonna lie to you though, y'all. Like
play inside, outside, great tackler.
But LSU corners been cooking out the draft lately, though, bro. I mean,
they have.
I mean, Delane is really good. It's not necessarily a Delane thing. It's more so about where we're at as far as that is concerned. Now, McNeil Warren and Omar Cooper Jr. at those positions would be great, but we need help along the defensive line, and so that would be the thing. Is like, hey, these are 3.
Is Chris retiring? Oh, he's still staying.
No, he's still staying.
Yeah, he had 50 sacks last year, didn't he?
No, I think he had 7.5. I think.
Yeah, he barely.
But Chris Jones.
Yeah, but again, the thing is, interior defensive lineman in sacks is a whole thing. His pressure numbers and underlying stats were still at the elite level that Chris Jones normally brings. But that's the thing. That would be the only thing for me.
He took a step back a little bit, man. I don't know.
He was giving up on some plays.
His plays a little shoddy.
I know people saw the Trevor Lawrence thing. That was funny. No, but I think the defensive line help would be the thing for me, particularly at edge. Would be my criticism of that top 3 to begin.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, if Ruben Bain falls there, then cool. Like, obviously, you won the draft already, and kind of whatever happens from there, you're up. But
very possible, by the way.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, they have 3 picks in the top 40. I just think people are just absolutely underestimating. Like, okay, you think their roster isn't great right now, but if they hit on 2 of those 3 picks, let alone 3, I mean, that changes the team for the next 5 years.
They have the flexibility to trade back though. And acquire more picks.
If they traded back out of 9 too, bro,
that'd be special from like a playoff team that really wants a guy, and you can get a haul for him. Like, yeah, that'd be a good.
Like, think about it. If y'all sitting at 9, y'all trade back from 9, and let's say you took
if we traded out and we took Caleb Banks or TJ Parker to start the draft, I'd understand it.
Yeah, let's say you trade with the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
And they give you the 2nd round pick this year and a 2nd next year. So then you trade back to 15, and then you also pick up another pick at 46. Brother, you would have 4 picks, 4 of them in the top 46, and like you could absolutely get like massive steals here. Like, I think that would be a great deal for the Chiefs. Again, you can back out if you want, or you could stay up top if you want. Like, this could be a special draft.
If somebody wanted to come into the top 10 to grab somebody, I'd be more than happy to be able to do that. I'm a little bit.
This would be a good year to do that.
Well, I don't know if anybody would have the prospect there that they would say we need to go up and get. If it does happen, I'd be happy about it, of course. But that'd be the only thing. I think it's actually more likely that we would trade back from 29 because the team wanted to trade up into the 1st round to get a, name your quarterback here, Ty Simpson. I suppose maybe Garrett Nussmeier, whatever. I don't know. But one of those guys, I think it's even more likely that we would be trading out of 29 than 9. But yes, absolutely. Being able to trade back, get that extra draft capital. If we're in the middle of the 1st round, I think there's going to be a really good opportunity to still get good prospects there. So, like you said, we have a lot of flexibility to add to the Chiefs roster for sure.
Who do you think has lost free agency so far?
So I have a concern that I would not necessarily say is a loss. I think that the Texans and the offensive line situation still very much scares me. I don't know necessarily if they did enough with just adding Brandon Smith and Evan Brown to address that issue. So that I'll say little bit concerning from that perspective. The other one I would say, and it's not to say that all of their moves were bad, but the Commanders,
they just grabbing people.
It's a little bit.
They're just giving everybody contracts.
Yeah, it's not that it can't work out. Like I love Leo Chanel. I will say that. I think the Odafe Owe contract is astronomical in my personal opinion. Though they got good values with Amik Robinson and Rashad White, it's just more so they didn't necessarily address some things that I feel like I don't feel great about where the Commanders are at right now. And I saw that them having a regression because of the age of their roster kind of coming last year. So I'm concerned about where the Commanders are at as far as this is concerned. And free agency didn't do a lot to make me feel great about that.
I don't think the Denver, they're going to try, they're spending this however they want to spend this. The Broncos, the only weaknesses they had last year was playmakers and inside linebacker. And they currently brought back no playmakers, and their inside linebackers are the exact same. To me, that's like, I get the process of like, hey, we don't have the holes. Like, they don't actually have a hole on the roster, meaning like there's nothing that they're bad at, but I think there's things they're specifically not good at that I think affects you in the long term. And, I thought Bo Nix was bad the first half of the year. I thought he was great the second half of the year, and I thought he was great in the playoffs. And he outplayed Mahomes. He outplayed Love. He outplayed Josh Allen head-to-head straight up multiple times. This happened over the course of the year. And he did this with Troy Franklin Jr. and Marvin Mims outside of Cortland Sutton. And then they said, let's do the exact same thing, even though the Broncos were number 2 in the NFL in drops. For me, if they don't walk away with hey, Debo, let's take a flyer here, and then going into the draft and then adding hey, we need actual weapons on this team, then bro, it's dumb because a lot of the people that actually work for the org they won 14 games last year. Okay, they won 14 games, but it's hard to replicate just being an absolutely nails and clutch in every situation on another year basis. At some point, you need to have an offense that you can actually build room for, hey, let's go win this by 10. Let's go win this by 14. Because right now they don't have the personnel to do that consistently. So for me, it's a loser because I don't think you can just bank on last year's success. And with a rookie quarterback, say we're going to give him the most mid-offensive options possible.
Well, look, Sean Payton likes his guys, and we had this discussion after last year's draft where I thought Barron is a really good pick at the defensive back position, but I thought there was an opportunity to add some juice to that weapon room, whether it was a Luther Burden or a Trayvon Henderson, Quinshon Judkins. You guys decided to go a different way as far as that was concerned. And it seems like we're just back here where you guys need that offensive juice. So we'll see if the Broncos can find it a different way. Deebo Samuel, I suppose, could help as well. I think Jawan Jennings actually would be a really nice compliment to Cortland Sutton, in my personal opinion. But we'll see what ends up happening there. The other one I'll mention, too, I didn't like what the Jets did. I think that if you're in the Jets position, you want to take more shots on younger players. I think the Osai thing was a little bit iffy for me. I don't know why you bring in a guy like DeMario Davis or Anyamata. That's just not where I would have gone with.
Get Gino back. Oh, boy.
Get Gino back. And they need somebody to play quarterback. Nahshon Wright, I think he's a little bit overrated after some of the ball production he has. I don't mind the Kingsley Amari signing as well for the edge, but I don't think the Jets did a good job at taking bets on younger guys and seeing if they could have better upside as far as
Nahshon Wright, the corner, right?
Yeah. It's a
$5 million deal.
I always root for him because he was part of that last chance you situation, and the fact that he went to Cincinnati and ended up being what he became, man. I mean Oregon State. I've always rooted for him. I ain't gonna lie. He's a good kid, come from a good family, and I'm glad he can make the NFL and big getting a contract. So I ain't gonna lie. I just kind of root for
getting this deal for sure.
I don't like what the Buffalo Bills have done. I think DJ Moore is fine, but nothing for losing Teron Johnson. And then signing Bradley Chubb to a $45 million deal, and now it's only guaranteed for the first 2 years. He's not a game changer at all. And he's not even better than Joey Bosa. He's just younger. I don't think that's a good move for them. I don't know how much better they've actually gotten.
That one was surprising. I was
just wasting money.
Chubb got that deal. I was surprised Chubb got that deal. D. Alford was okay. I actually didn't mind that signing just because he can give you some of the nickel versatility that you want. But yeah, honestly, I don't think that the DJ Moore trade was a good idea. I don't think you could rely upon him to be a number one guy. There's just too much inconsistencies in the way he runs around.
Watch film. Watch film. I watched him be 1,000-yard receiver 3 years in a row with Cam, and I watched him go to as bad as we think doesn't feel this. I watched him be highly productive, 1,400-yard season with them. I think what just happened was we don't speak on the fact that Caleb Williams had a favorite target in Rome and didn't look his way, and that route tree scheme was terrible. It's been terrible. Everyone that goes with it was terrible.
Vince Johnson's route scheme tree?
No. I'm talking about because this year you actually saw some play. We talking about the year before then where he kind of checked out. I think sad part about it, I don't condone this. He checked out for 2 years straight because of how bad the previous year was, and then he came into this season checking out, which is on him. But I do believe that him going to the Bills is damn near. I'm not saying Stephon Diggs, but he'll put up 1,300 yards there. I promise you that much. He's shown he can be a number one wide receiver though.
If you get the Panthers version of him, I'm fine with that. What you saw from him from the Bears, I would be scared of that. And the fact that you trade a second
round, that was some of his best seasons though.
But when I'm watching him on tape, I'm seeing he's taking these routes off. He's not running them at the correct depths. These things are affecting the way that they run the offense, especially what Joe Brady wants to do for the Bills. I'm just concerned that it's not going to have the impact that they paid a second-round price for. I know they got a fifth-round back in addition to it. That's just me personally when I'm looking at that deal as far as that's concerned. Now, look, they could go out and add to the wide receiver room in the draft, and it could be a good compliment, and it makes sense. If they think that that's going to be the impact thing as far as that is concerned, I'm going to be a little bit concerned as far as what their wide receiver room is going to look like, again, coming off of what it was last year.
Yeah, another team. How do you feel about the Raiders? So the Raiders, they added like a lot of players. And so I actually like Quay Walker. I think he's a really good player. You know, he's obviously very young. He's still raw in some ways, but they gave him a good amount of money, like a good amount of money. And that's obviously going to be something that they need to pan out, and he needs to be able to improve on some things. He's honestly not the best in the run. He's obviously super athletic, and so you're kind of paying for upside. He had 128 tackles last season, which is really good. Obviously, very productive. But they got Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean, and they got
the Georgia boys back together.
But do you think that, like, I think they could have the best inside linebacker tandem in the AFC West next year if they pan out. I think they're actually both really talented players. Nakobe Dean and Quay Walker for the Raiders.
You combine both of those guys.
I think Quay a little overrated, but I wouldn't have. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think they got a better situation with. Although he's not a great pass covering linebacker, I think them getting rid of Quay, but then picking up Zaire Franklin was just a better situation for them. But I'm not low on Quay, but I'm not high on Quay too.
No, I was gonna say he's a point and shoot linebacker. So the be able to combine him with Nakobe Dean, who's maybe a little bit more undersized, I should say, but it's a little bit better at the mental side of it. I think that's why the complement of those two guys pairing wise does end up working. So I understand what they were going for as far as the second level of their defense. They gave Linderbaum an astronomical amount of money, but it also makes sense given how much they needed the interior line help. But I don't mind them doing it because obviously we assume we know what the number one pick is going to be, Fernando Mendoza. If you're going to do that, in my opinion,
save that guy.
You need an experienced center in front of them. That's just a prerequisite. If you're going to have a young quarterback, have an experienced center that understands what they're doing to take something off their plate. So I don't mind what the Raiders did, in my personal opinion. I think it was fine. I don't think they went too crazy for anybody. I know they added Kuntz as well and Kwity Paye. Like, you know, do
you think that's going to end up working? Like, so they added all. The front seven is really what they focused on, which they should. Stokes obviously got brought back. Jalen Naylor on the offensive end, Matt Gay. But they made 4 significant signings in their front seven defensively. And just for people to be aware, the listeners, they're currently have the number 1 overall pick in the draft. They have the number 36 overall pick in the draft and the number 67 overall pick in the draft. So they have very high players that they can draft and add to the roster. So, number one, I do think that making a significant improvement in terms of your process to your front seven matters in football, and especially with your young quarterback, offensive line, and then having a defense that is at least like above average is extremely important. But look, if they can also find like 36, just like, would you go weapon here, or would you go about like trying to fortify the offensive line, defensive line more?
It'd be nice if they can go weapon. I think they need it specifically at the wide receiver position. I know they got Jack Best, they got Thornton, who I think they tried to maybe force in there a little bit too much, in my opinion. So I could see them going wide receiver. I think that would certainly make a lot of sense. I don't have any issues with them adding to that front seven either. I know that, and to answer, I think MB asked about, you know, being able to afford to keep Max. They have all the cap space in the world, so they can keep Max if they want to. I think I would probably feel better about their offseason if they did, in fact, to get those 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby, just for the direction of the team and how things move forward. But they can keep Max and not have any issues as far as that's concerned. So I think that weapon at 36 would be most ideal for where they're at. And how they want to build out this offense. Obviously, Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers are there. I think they'll be very successful with Mendoza, but they need another.
Would you just bring Omar Cooper back in, like do the same thing with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase?
If I could at 36, absolutely. I think that would be a really nice fit, versatile for what they want to do. Again, no issues with leaving him on the field all 3 downs because he blocks very well. So, yeah, I think he would make a lot of sense for him.
Man, is the AFC West just going to be like, are we looking at a year from now, like the whole division is nothing but good football teams? Because obviously if Mendoza hits next year, like let's just say I asked this question a few days ago. If Mendoza has a Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels rookie year, I mean they can win 7-8 games next year.
Yeah, I'm a little bit iffy on seeing him as maybe that level of prospect. I think he's a good quarterback prospect, but I think he's also going to be number one because he kind of has to be given the other quarterbacks that he's competing against. But he could have that. As far as your question, it's all these teams, in my opinion, have questions. We talked about the weapons for the Broncos. We know the Chiefs need some impact guys at wide receiver and along the defensive line. The Chargers answering how that defense is going to operate without Jesse Minter is going to be a massive question mark, in my opinion, as well. And we know the Raiders, they need defensive back help still, as far as that's concerned, need to add to the wide receiver room. But I mean, I think these guys, the teams in general, are probably moving in the right direction to be competitive, certainly as far as the Raiders are concerned. They just got to execute.
I think the Broncos are the easiest thing to fix, honestly. Like I think that weapon situation, like there are at least free agents and guys in the draft y'all can fix that with. I think that's probably one of the easiest problems to fix. Y'all have so much other great things that y'all have. Great O-line, running game can get there, but picking up a receiver or a running back, that won't be that hard for you guys. I think they're going to surprise you in the next couple of weeks, man. And Sean Payton has been known to be a guy who not really big on getting big time receivers. You know, he's made some of the better receivers that you didn't hear about great. But I think you guys will pick somebody up that's going to, you know, move the needle a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Omar Cooper came in for a visit. That was your first top 30 visit. So I just know what's going to happen again. No, DMac. I have PTSD. They were 100% drafting Emeka Egbuka last year. 100%. Until Tampa Bay was like, you know what? We actually need 3 receivers. They drafted him at 19, right before the Broncos did. I absolutely think that threw the Broncos off. I think Emeka Egbuka would 100% be a Bronco. They would have been much better last year. I am at this point now where I'm watching this draft. They went after Travis Etienne. They went after Breece Hall. They didn't went after Kenneth Walker. They went after Jalen Waddle. Bro, they're going to try to draft Omar Cooper Jr. I know it. And somebody's going to draft him. I would not be shocked if the Chiefs draft him at 29. They get the best defensive prospect at 9, and then Omar Cooper jumps right at 29, and it's over. It's over.
Yeah, I mean, I would be very happy with Omar Cooper.
I'm sure you would.
29. Absolutely. Wouldn't have any issues with it. And
Omar, I remember watching last year, DMac. I remember watching Omar play with Indiana. You know, and this was before like I started doing any of the draft stuff. I remember watching Omar and I was like, bro, this, you know, because it's Indiana. Like this was like when they were like 3-0, 4-0. And I was like, this dude Omar can actually hoop. Like, I don't know if he's gonna go anywhere, like if he's like a top pick, but then he obviously kept getting better and better as the year goes on. But like he can play, dude. Like he's actually like a really good receiver.
Yep. You could have went Matthew or Luther Burton if y'all really wanted a receiver that bad.
No, they all went ahead of the Broncos in the second round, though. That was the problem.
I'm saying, but instead of y'all getting that corner, instead of getting a Barron, y'all should just went with a receiver right after him. But I get it.
When you get to that point, though, you got to draft best available. And Barron was a top 10, top 12 pick. I thought, like, you know, he's a really good corner. It's just the Broncos are so loaded at corner, and he was a rookie. So, you know, the Vikings, obviously, I think that's a big move. Them getting Kyler Murray. Currently, they're projected in first 4 rounds to get Caleb Banks, Jadarian Price, Malik Muhammad out of Texas, corner, and then Deion Burks, who's a wide receiver out of Oklahoma. And obviously, they just lost Jalen Naylor, so they need another receiver. Do we feel good about what the Vikings and where they're headed right now, adding Kyler and then, you know, having some opportunity in the draft?
This kind of murder situation, boy. Oh, man.
I think Kyler was the best quarterback available, so I think that makes sense. You know, it signals an end for JJ McCarthy, but that's fine. I think that.
But it's like, damn, already did the boy play 10 games in his career? Damn, we just get him out of here.
That's why the GM got fired.
They treat JJ like a black man. I ain't gonna lie, that's how you do black quarterbacks, man. They got that boy out of there quick. He barely played.
I don't have any issues with what the Vikings have done so far. Kyler is really the big one. They didn't really add anybody of note outside of that. They brought Eric Wilson back. But you know what Brian Flores can do on the defense side of the ball. So I think Kyler Murray gives them a chance to be back to being a competitive team next year, and that's all they want to do as far as that is concerned. So I think that's a good thing for the Vikings for sure.
Yeah, man. Jadarian Price is interesting because I think he's clearly the second best running back in the draft. I just have no idea where he's going to go. None.
Yeah. It's going to be very variable to see if the running backs get pushed up and outside of Price, certainly. Who I think.
You think he's the second best running back in the draft?
Yeah, I think comfortably too. Like I think comfortably. If he didn't have Love on his team, I think he'd be a higher draft pick. I actually think he's better than he's getting projected to be because he was sitting behind Jeremiah Love. I think there's a world in which I'm looking at it right now. If you told me that Jadarian Price went, so the problem is that I'm looking at this right now. The Rams have a running back, but they're not drafting a running back at 13 that high.
Nope.
The Ravens have a running back at 14. Now, the 15, he's not going this high either, but maybe he does because they love offensive weapons there. If you told me he went 15 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I wouldn't bat an eye at it because you know who else did this when they didn't need to? It was the Lions when they got Jahmyr Gibbs at 12. I didn't think he was going to get drafted that high in that draft either. But if you told me Jadarian ended up with the Buccaneers at 15, with the Texans at 28, the Broncos at 30, shoot, even the Seahawks at 32.
Yeah, I would not be shocked if he ended up going in the top, I guess somewhere in that 20 to 32 range, or I guess 20 to 50, whatever you want to put it at. If he went inside the top 20, I think that would be shocking. But as you mentioned, there were some teams there at the end of the first that makes sense, and then early second, I think that could certainly happen as far as that.
I forgot how bad. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Jeremiah Love, he carries his running back draft like this. I forgot how poor they are. Like,
it's going to be interesting to watch where guys like Emmett Thomas and Mike Washington Jr., Katron Allen, or Nick Singleton, for that matter, where they ended up going if teams push these guys up because they not necessarily because they.
I think Mike Washington Jr. could be this year's Breece Hall, DMac.
Oh yeah, I like that.
He's 6'1", what is he? 225,
223,
and he ran a 4.33 dog.
I knew because I liked him a lot when I was watching him on tape, and then this was pre-combine. I'm like, this guy is big and he can move very well. I figured like after the combine he's going to start getting hyped. Now, does he end up going on day 2? Certainly going to be a question mark, but I think he'll definitely make a team very happy as far as that is concerned.
Well, they got him listed after the combine. His measurements are 6'2" now.
How shocked would you? Again, this is just the way it works. Like I wouldn't at this point. I wouldn't be shocked if he, because of the measurement, I wouldn't be shocked if he moved past Jadarian for some teams. But if he went to, I think the Jaguars would be very smart.
That would be a good pickup. That would be a great pickup for him. You just got rid of Jincy. Your dad replaced with Jincy. That's a good pickup.
Well, sorry, Travis Achan.
So yeah, I'm sorry. I said Jincy. Achan. Sorry, Travis Achan.
Achan.
I love that he said
his name is Achan. Achan Jr.
He said that he said that
his name is pronounced apparently just the same way Devon's is. Travis Achan Jr.
Well, Travis, show me something to say, and I'll call you by your name.
All right, Cash.
Terrell Owens about Terrell Owens, and he's my top 3 receiver all time. Okay, and I know Terrell in real life. If you call him Terrell, he might smack you.
I know. Hey, I know you want to be. I know you want to be Sonny Liston, brother, but you are not Sonny Liston, and you cannot defend yourself. You cannot defend yourself.
Listen, you got to be.
Early is 5'6". He's 5'6". I just found this out.
I'm 5'9". He makes everybody a couple inches shorter. I'm 5'9", but all I'm saying is, hey, brother, I know I watched the Hall of Fame receiver get called the wrong name for years. and if you know, you know. My man didn't even call him by his name. He called him the player. If you know, you know.
Who you talking about?
What's the coach name? I'm talking about Terrell Owens, but what's the coach name that played for that coached the Giants, won the Super Bowl the Giants with Lawrence Taylor and them, and then he coached not Belichick, you know what I'm talking about, and he coached the Cowboys.
Oh, Parcells?
Parcells. You know, Parcells is not like Terrell Owens. Called him the player.
No, he did. No, he did
player.
Not like.
If Terrell Owens could go by Terrell Owens, it's Terrell. And he literally like he's very adamant about that in real life. Like it's Terrell. It's not Terrell. It's Terrell. So if he can be called Terrell, then ETN is going to be ETN for a long time, my boy. Come on, show me something. Be a Hall of Famer, and then maybe when they say your name in the Hall of Fame inductee, I'll call you H.
Well, it's the same thing as old boy, the inside linebacker used to play for the Colts, DMac.
Spell it like that, then.
He was good for a few years. Number 53.
H.
Oh, not I'm thinking of Franklin. Oh man, he went to HBCU and he just jumped out of my head, and I feel bad. He went to South Carolina State. Oh wow, I cannot remember what.
Yeah, he said he did the same thing with his name. He re-explained it while he was playing. He was good. He was a Pro Bowler for a couple years.
He was.
It is funny because it's an ETN.
Darius Leonard, but he didn't.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
He changed his name because he used to be it used to be Shaquille, and then he changed it to Darius.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
It was an ETN that was a shooting guard that played for Wichita State, who plays for the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets now. Spelled it the exact same way. His name is ETN. I hate when people do that. Like, bro, stop spelling like everybody else does. Spell it different.
How you
we call Achan because it's spelled like Achan, Achane. Come on, bro. Your name is E-I-C-H-A-N-E.
No, he had to do it too. People were calling him A-Chain. They were saying A-Chan. His name is A-Chan. He had to also correct people. Anyway, I think Mike Washington Jr., I think Nicholas Singleton, you get either one of those players for me outside of Jadarian Price. I think you're going to be gold.
I'm a K-Tron guy over Singleton personally, but I would say that obviously the top two, Love, Price, Washington, Allen, and I would have Emmett Johnson round out my top five personally.
Jonah Coleman's 5'8", 220, my dog.
It's a combination.
That's a tank.
Yeah, I like him more for a receiving back.
What was his 40 though?
I don't know if he ran one.
I know he was a touchdown monster last year for
he sure was. He reminds me a lot of Austin Eckler when I watch him. Like and it's not to as a knock. Like he could do things. He's a good running back on the ground too. But
220 at 5'8", dog.
I'm not high on him, but I do love his name. I love me some Jam Miller. Jam.
Jam. Jonah ran a 4.5 flaps.
But he's like legitimately like a thick running back.
He's like a tree trunk.
Yeah, like
he's a thick running back, huh?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. The same thing Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah, he was Maurice Jones-Drew, but he was different, though. Boy, Maurice Jones-Drew was different, dog. He was just different, man. Ooh, he was different, dog. Oh man, he was so good for UCLA. I mean, we about to get out of here. So again, let's do that. Keep 3 cut 7, man. Come on.
Wait, before we do that, I just want to mention real quick. I like what the Steelers did as well. And I don't know what the heck is going to happen with the quarterback situation, but I thought the Pittman deal made a lot of sense. They brought in Jamel Dean. I think Rico Dowdle is a really good combination with Jalen Warren as far as that's concerned. They got Brisker as well to add to their nickel versatility too. So I like what the Steelers were able to do in this free agency period.
In hindsight, because I was high on him, so I've gotten a lot of flack for it. How bad was the DK Metcalf deal? Because when you think about the fact that we put you in here to be our number one receiver, and then we had to get another number one receiver to help you out because you're not a number one receiver. Whew, how bad of a deal is that in the long run? And you can't just let him go because the money is so high. It's like, damn, that's a boo-boo right there, man. Usually you just had Pittman and Calvin Austin at this point.
I think the deal looks worse because of who they had at the quarterback and the limitations that come with having that quarterback because of, hey, we got to get the ball out very quickly. DK is more of a down the field route runner. No, I would say route runner, a down the field runner of routes. I'll say that. That's the way I want to put that. More so.
So man, you saw you ball for a second, DMac. You almost lost me.
I want to make sure I phrase that correctly, so I emphasize that point. But I think that the quarterback limitations as far as pushing the ball down the field made the DK deal look a little worse. Now, personally, I would not have traded that much and given him that contract. That's just not where I value him. But I think it was also made worse by the quarterback situation.
Not to mention his counterpart in Seattle literally had the best season as a receiver last year. And they won the Super Bowl. So it looked like you were the problem. You were in the way.
JSN was like, oh, looks like I'm going to be getting all these targets. Nice. Let's get going, baby.
What's your cut 3? Do your cut 3 real quick.
Hey, go ahead.
Bet. This is keep 3 cut 3 NFL bust all time. Okay. Keep 3 cut 7. Starting off hot, we're going Charles Rogers.
No.
Detroit Lions, number 2 overall pick.
No, I know who that is. No,
cut it.
All right, we cut
that tackle from the Vikings better be here though. I know he better be in this.
Hilarious. We're going next on. We're going Achilles Smith, 3rd overall pick for the Cincinnati Bengals.
No, bad, but I would cut him
bad.
That was ugly.
All right, cool. We're going Jamarcus Russell.
Yes,
Oakland Raiders, number 1 overall pick.
Gotta be
okay, so we keep it Russell. Boy, we think that is a bad pick. All right. Next, we are going with Trent Richardson, Cleveland Browns.
No, he had 1,000 yards as a rookie. I'm not letting people dispel that. No, he had 1,000 yards. I'm good.
Would not include Trent Richardson.
All right, cool. Next name on the list, quarterbacks. David Carr, Houston Texans.
Bro, that was the first ever pick for that team.
Texas got that man killed.
Yeah, bro, their offensive line was trash the whole time he was there.
He was not a. I think David Carr, if he didn't get destroyed so much, he could have had him a Sam Darnold redemption season. Because if you remember, David Carr had all the tools. He just they killed his confidence over there,
and they could not protect him at all.
And they made them start from scratch. Like now, like when you have an expansion team, they basically like give you a couple pieces from other teams. They made them niggas start from scratch, man. Them were all new guys.
Yeah, they were the replacements. That was remember the Keanu Reeves movie.
Yeah, that's why if I ever had an expansion team, I would not draft a quarterback to go behind them. I would say, hey, we're gonna make sure that I can build the rest of this team first before I put a quarterback in this situation.
So we keep it. We cut David Carr.
Cut.
Next name on the list, another Cleveland Brown great, Tim Couch. 1999 number 1 overall pick.
That is tough.
That's a
but he was
That nigga name was Couch.
But his game never, like, from college to where it was, never. It didn't make any. I don't know, bro.
It's also a situation thing.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Couch was just not that kind of player anyway, bro. I
think what makes it worse is some of the guys that went after him. Like obviously Donovan McNabb went immediately after him, though. I think it was Keely Smith was also really bad. But you talk about Edger James, Champ Bailey, Torrey Holt, Ricky Williams. Like there's a lot of really good players that went after Tim Couch that makes it even worse.
And the Saints and Mike Dickey, they gave the house for Ricky Williams, boy.
But he was good though.
He was good.
They traded the entire draft for him, and he was good.
So I have three Couch.
I have 3 names in mind, and I'm trying to decide if Couch is worse than one of these names.
Man, because
you already got Russell so far, so don't say the names, but yeah.
Because we haven't even said the dude that went number 2 overall in '98.
Yeah, that's true. I'll cut Couch because I think that there'll be at least 2 worse.
All right, cool. Next name on the list, Justin Blackman.
Alcohol killed him.
Broke my heart.
That was crazy. Yeah,
broke my heart.
That 20. What year was that? 2011.
2012.
2012.
He was
that boy was an alcoholic, bro. That's nuts.
He was so good.
He was so cool.
He won a Benedict twice, right?
Yep. Blitikoff, twice. Oklahoma State. Yeah. He was literally the second best receiver I've seen under Michael Crabtree, bro. Like them niggas both were like 20 TDs a season guys, man. He was, bro. Justin Blackman couldn't be stopped. And he was doing, bro. Justin Blackman was running the same slant route, and you couldn't stop it, bro.
You couldn't stop it at all.
You couldn't stop it, bro.
He was so cool. I'm gonna have to say no, but oh my god, he was amazing.
That was bad.
I bet. Next name on the list. Let me see how many we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. Next name on the list. None other than Matt Liner, Arizona Cardinals.
I wouldn't say so. I would cut him.
No, he wasn't, because he wasn't a bigger bust than Ponder was. Like, so.
No. That was a bad one.
No, I'm not going Matt Liner, bro.
All right, cool. So we've cut.
Fact, he was too good at USC for me to call him an NFL bust. That's what I think of Matt Liner.
Okay, I ain't mad at that. All right, so we cut Rodgers. We cut Keely Smith, who I think was a terrible pick. We kept Russell. We cut Trent. We cut David Carr. We cut Justin Blackman. And we cut Couch and Matt Liner. So you decided to keep none other than. So you kept Sam Bradford for the St. Louis Rams. And then you kept good old Ryan Leaf, San Diego, number 2 overall pick. 14 TDs, 36 interceptions in his career. Ooh, that was awful.
Yeah, the only one I would have subbed out would be Sam Bradford. Yeah, Josh Rosen was definitely a bigger bust than Bradford was.
Yeah. But at least they made up for it with the pick immediately after, to be fair.
I think Tim Couch was Tim Couch.
I would say Couch was worse. Was worse.
You ever look at that 08? You ever look at that 08 DMac? You ever look at that 08 draft or that 07 draft with DeMarcus Russell? Literally, when you go look at them, there is literally 7 Hall of Famers from that draft that went in the top 15. 7.
The only one that I'll also mention, because we did not get a mention, I think Trey Lance has to be on the list. And I'm not saying necessarily like the reasons why it didn't work out, etc. But for you to have traded what they did for Trey Lance, and I know they
Hey, just still give him. I still give him a chance. These are most so guys that already.
Yeah, we know.
But,
it's
yeah, Wilson on that list too. Wilson gonna be close on that list too.
You know who we haven't brought up in years is Deion Jordan, bro. He was a huge bust.
That was a bad one.
Huge bust.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought Charles Rogers was gonna be good, and one for me as a Panthers fan personally. Dwayne Jarrett, bro. Oh boy, boy.
Wait, bro. What was the tackle's name that got drafted to the Vikings, man? Steroid dude.
Oh, I'm thinking of Bosworth. It's not Bosworth.
That's right, Bosworth.
Yeah.
And what is the tackle's name?
I'm looking it up right now, bro. It was he got caught. And then once he got off the roids, he was literally horrible. The worst thing you've ever seen. Was it Chris Hovan? No, it wasn't Chris Hovan. What was his name?
He was on the cover of SI and everything. Like,
yeah. Bro, what is his name, dog?
He was a tackle.
Mandarin or something?
This is what they said in the chat. Chat, this is what we need, you goddammit.
Yes, please.
What's name was terrible too. Matt Tatel and Chris and Bosworth. He was terrible too. Bosworth really was sold because of his look.
Tail went in the second round though.
Matt Tatel did go in the second round. He did go in the second round. He did.
What was his name, bro? Y'all making me mad, bro.
I'm about to look up their draft history. Let's see if
what year did he go? You remember?
No.
He was
Vikings tackle busted for steroids.
He typed in busted for steroids.
Kevin Williams. No. Are we kidding me? Are we really? There's just nobody gonna bring this? What's his name?
It's not Khalil. No.
Oh my gosh.
He must be earlier than I thought he was then. Because I know exactly who you're talking about. Was it a Viking or a Packer?
Might have been a Packer. Maybe I may be tripping.
Yeah,
it might have been a Packer. I'm picturing I can see the SI cover.
Tony Mandarich, yes,
yes,
yeah. He played.
He's on. You know what? You know what's so funny? He's on.
Oh my gosh, what huge bust.
They have him third overall. Tony Mandarich, Green Bay Packers, 1989 second overall pick, hyped as the best O-line prospect ever.
Bro, I don't think people realize.
Hold up, wait a minute. Taking ahead of Barry Sanders, Derek Thomas, and Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
That's some of the greatest of their positions all time.
He was considered the greatest prospect ever in the way he was hyped.
Best offensive line prospect ever. He went over, literally, think about this. He went over the greatest corner of all time and the greatest running back of all time.
Yeah, it's bad.
Brother, that is absolutely the worst. And if you look at him, if you see pictures of him and what he looked like when he was playing, like he was a rock. Like, dog, he was massive. He looked like he was going to be an absolute superstar. But just roids, like
I say, Bosworth the same way. Bosworth had the shoulder pads on. He looked like something out of Gladiators, and was just he got ran over by that guy who was always hurt, who's low key a draft bust too. We don't speak on Bo, and man, it was
bust.
What?
He got hurt. He literally was
Hey, D-Mac. If you get hurt, are you not a bust because you got hurt?
No. Greg Ogan's also not a bust. He got hurt. That's not what a bust is. A bust is somebody who didn't pan out because they suck. He was so powerful. He literally tore his hip apart because how strong his muscles were when they tried to break him down. That's why
if you get hurt, Chad, I'm not saying you did. I'm not saying, listen, Chad. Either way, though, if you get hurt, you still look at that as a guy.
No, Greg Oden is a bust. That's not a bust. Greg Oden is not a bust. Greg Oden got hurt. That's the difference.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at people that would still label it.
Greg is literally looked at as a draft bust. He's not Kwame Brown bust worthy, but he's a draft bust.
That's not a bust. He was a good player. Man, all right. This is Press Box. Hey, DMac, we would love to have you back. I'm not sure what you got going on Wednesdays and Sundays. But if you want to be, we can talk offline too. You want to be a part of the show. We would love to have you because obviously you're one of the best ball knowers out there. DSG Piccolo, $5 super chat. Shuck said Bell, and it seems once Bell and it seems mutual. Oh, he talking about Chris Bell. I don't know if he'll be there at 42. Bring me Downs and Bell Loomis. Bell should be there at 42.
Yeah, he should be.
And Boyd, stop. This was John Kill. Stop saying he was a two-sport athlete. He should have stuck in one sport. Okay, If he was so good, Bo Jackson could have been Barry Bonds. Since they played baseball, he was two-sport. Deion Sanders was a two-sport athlete. You can't say a nigga was a two-sport athlete when he never finished
Russell Wilson
either
was
sport.
a two-sport athlete. Kyler Murray was a two-sport athlete.
You got to be great in one of them sports, though. You got to have a great career in one of them sports,
Why can't I be good at both? What's wrong? What's wrong with that?
You have to have a good career in one of them.
Dave Logan got drafted in 3 different sports.
You
football,
can't be good at 2 things but not finish in either one of them. That's what I'm saying.
Was Dave Logan an elite at any of those sports? No, he got drafted in all 3 though. Now what?
I don't mean you played 2 sports. You weren't a 2-sport athlete.
I got drafted in 3 leagues. I'm one of 2 people ever. Me and Winfield. That's the only people ever. I would much rather do that.
And that's cool. But did you finish in one of those leagues?
I'm better than you at all of them. How about that early? That's what I would say. That's what I would say if I was you.
Hey. I don't play baseball.
MB34012, $5 after free agency. Who is the favorite in AFC North after free agency?
It should be the Ravens. It should be the Ravens. Obviously, the Steelers in the question mark about Aaron Rodgers. That's a thing. I expect them to still be in the mix. Bengals, they made some defensive additions. How well those defensive additions will do for them is a question mark. But it should be the Ravens.
How the mighty have fallen. There was a time in my childhood growing up, the AFC North was feared. It was gods over there. It was Ray Lewis, and James Harrison, and Ed Reed, and Trey Polamalu, and now, boy, how the mighty have fallen, man. Those guys aren't on shit anymore.
The division is still good, though. I don't know why.
It's not. It's not. I ain't gonna lie. Lamar is carrying that division right now. He's carrying that division right now.
Joe Burrow doesn't exist?
Him and Myles Garrett. Now, Joe Burrow don't. Yeah, Joe Burrow. He exists when he plays, boy. But I tell you that's every other season.
All right, y'all. Make sure y'all tap into the press box. Thank you so much, Bama. Thank you so much, Early. Thank you so much, DMac. Thank you so much, B. We'll be back. Trenton will be back. Trey will be back. I hope DMac will be back with us. B, if you want to join as well, let us know. Make sure y'all tap in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hey, we'll see y'all Wednesday, 8:30 p.m.